remaining. One enemy remaining. Enemy remaining. Headshot. One enemy remaining.
But still, his utility has been so good. Oh, a great molly. Frey flushed out, connects double headshot, readjusts his aim. Draco trades him out, but Frey surely gets both of them. Oh my god, no way!
Oh, all the utility being used by Harbor, but let's get flash. Go! This man is not stopping.
remaining.
Oh my goodness.
They might think it's clear. Juicy dodges Dizzy, finds a brilliant shot onto Splash. Small little gap, and he makes the most out of it. Kaka goes down as well. Blind over shot. Just 4 more kills to go. Around the corner, Juicy finds the first, so does Riza. The judge in tow, and it's all for DSG.
Gonna be coming in for the side of DSG, trying to get control of spawn, and Dizzy's able to hold it out. All 3 players towards hell. What can you do at this point? Jumps down, he finds one, he knows there's one more. Can he win after shot? But a third comes out. Wayne and Wayne
Calling for a little bit of backup, but they've lost Ben's control. Riza's here. Riza lines the ball up. Individual brilliance coming up from DSG through the smoke. It was an ace in the previous, and it's an ace in this one as well. It dictates a lot of your rotations. They have to win this out, and it's not going to be the case yet again. It's a key controller out of the mix. They're going straight in. Smokes her up. Rico ahead of things. Finds the first.
From existing empires to new blood, we are seeing tales of rivalries, tales of newfound talent, hero plays from watch parties to the mainstream. Here is the Challengers Malaysia-Singapore Grand Finals. It's been a long time here. Tash Money alongside Colin. We are your casters for today.
Yeah, extremely stoked to finally have this grand finals here. It's been a long time coming. We've had the qualifiers, we've gotten to the grueling group stages, into the playoffs. We saw history being made, we saw teams eliminated, dreams broken, and now we're gonna crown a champion right here today. And of course, our caster debut together, me and Tash, finally on the broadcast. So super excited for all the games that are to come. But yeah, this is Grand Final Sunday. This is where history is made between these 2 teams. And, you know, both of those teams going on a massive streak of rounds yesterday and the day before. LaZe and ORGLESS meet themselves yet again for another rematch in the Grand Finals.
It's going to be exciting because these 2 teams, despite them either being former teammates or now rivals, it's going to be super exciting to see where exactly or who exactly takes the crown, the title of champions for Split 1. But let's have a look at the brackets right now to see how the journey has gone on so far. Now, starting off, we saw on the upper bracket, we saw ORGLESS versus ENG. And we're going to head on straight. So basically, ORGLESS, they pretty much had a pretty decent run on the top side until they were knocked downwards by none other, their rivals today, LaZe.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid run from LaZe. I mean, in the playoffs, haven't dropped a single map. Flawless so far. On the other side, ORGLESS, you know, having a little bit of struggles against Ninjas at the start. They went down to the lower bracket, and then they had to beat DSG in that grueling best of 5. But it was pretty good from them yesterday. Right?
It was quick.
We don't see ORGLESS having 2 bad series in a row. They always refine themselves, and yeah, it was pretty quick. it was a solid win from them, and now they find themselves in that coveted best of 5 rematch in the grand finals.
I think this is exciting because I think for a lot of people watching in the beginning of the season, everyone is already putting a lot of their, I would say, a lot of their expectations onto LaZe. A lot of LaZe on tops coming up in the chat, I mean, if you may. But ORGLESS just really proving to us that they are definitely a team to watch out for as well. They are a team that is very mechanically able. They are very, I would say, they have really good styles of play. They have a lot of good strats. But you have a team, on the other hand, you have a team like LaZe who is very aggressive, very quick. It's almost hard to really put all these obstacles against them. Now today, the question now remains is, does ORGLESS have an answer for this very aggressive, space-taking, bombastic play that LaZe has in store for them?
Yeah, and I think this battle, right, this dynamic between these two teams actually goes back such a long way, even to 2023. These two captains of the team, Styron and Rico, leading their squad into that playoffs deep, multiple times in the split 1, split 2 of 2023, and yet again they find themselves locked at in the grand finals right now. It's incredible to see the growth that these two teams have had, bringing in new players, both sides, fresh faces we can see in the form of Kenji and Grumble. But then again, right, this is where it matters. All your strats on the table, everything on the line. What can you pull out for us?
Regardless, let's have a look at LaZe, because this is a little bit of a sneak peek of what we can expect.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Readjust his aim. Draco takes him out of frame. Surely he gets both of them.
One enemy remaining.
Just instant stuff.
Oh my god! Straight out, the scan is perfectly done. The stun as well. They're stuck in a corner. The right clicks for days.
Of course. What can wait?
Hold on, wait! No way! Finds a great kill, but who is left in the clutch? It's Styron, the man himself.
Oh, of course.
Undeniable. LaZe looking to be legends. This squad has done it all. Going on that flawless streak in the playoffs, we have Frey, Zed, Styron, Kenji, and Divine now joining forces with the core of the ex-Enigma roster, coming up clutch in situations that we have never seen before. Styron with insane plays in the playoffs, suddenly popping off like this in crazy bragging IGL. Zed on his crazy duelist entries as well. Kenji with the support. Frey and Divine as reliable as ever. This squad is set up for success.
It's really exciting because if I could say, oh, let's have one spotlight on one player, it's almost impossible, because this team relies a lot on not only hero plays, but also a team that is very, very aggressive and very bombastic. We are going to be seeing one of these players pop off today, and you can't tell who it's going to be. There's a lot of questions coming through. I think I saw this one conversation you had with the team about how you can't tell, you can't tell, all this time it was very quiet from Styron, and then suddenly during the upper brackets, Styron starts to pop up, and everyone's just like, wait, where was this guy all along? He was there, but he wasn't really showing his prowess until toward the end. And this also really shows a benchmark of what we can expect today, a fragging IGL. And I think in the meta nowadays, I think back then, yes, it's very acceptable for us to see an IGL that goes down first, so it's easier for them to really manage the team or give comms. But nowadays, even in tier number 1, we're starting to see this trend of fragging IGLs that can not only be the big brain of the team, the masterminds of things, but also a team that can also have an IGL who can not only frag, not only clutch, but also really, really make an impact. Regardless, let's have a look at ORGLESS on what they have to offer today.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
things alive here in this best of 5. Flaring in towards the smoke. Whoa, phantom moment takes down 2.
And they're going into the AWP of Dizzy. Dodges the flash, peeks out, pops the knives. And it's showtime, baby. Up and above, Dizzy catches them off guard. Dash pop. The lineup's coming through. But is there enough time? I don't think there... I mean, there should be enough time, but they're punching out. One by one.
Spike down A. One enemy remaining. Remaining. Spike down B.
Key controller out of the mix.
Start here.
They're going straight in. ORGLESS, the culmination of an orchestra of chaos in a sense, right? We have Dizzy, Flaring, Grumble, Ritko, and Vera. These 5 players have been sublime. You know, we see them facing up against a lot of adversity, but the thing about ORGLESS is they always come back. They always bounce back. They always have an answer. And led by Ritko, this team, you know, looking to make a lot of damage here in this grand finals.
It's really exciting looking at ORGLESS because they are definitely a team, coming back to what you said, a team that always finds their answers. And it's understandable. Redco is one of the, I would say, the legendary IGLs here in Malaysia, Singapore server. From coach to IGL, I think these two roles are very interchangeable. And I think because of that, it gives the team a lot of value. Now, this team also comes with a team that is very, very individually brilliant. You have Dizzy, who is so adept and so flexible in coming out aggressive and playing very, very, I would say, not only taking up space, but also playing multiple roles. We have Vera, who's just so adept on that jet, on taking up space, and always really exciting to see him play his aim duels and always winning on top. You have a player who is a new kid on the block, which is Strumble. Last year was his debut. This year is not as flashy as he was last year because you can finally see the shift, the momentum in how he plays from a hero, aggressive, bombastic play to something a little bit more. It's something very reminiscent of Vera in his early days as well. Very aggressive, very unchained, but now he's taking a step back to really play as a team player, to really enable his team going into a initiator role. Another player that I really want to talk about as well, I think, is also not only just Dizzy, but also Redco. Because even though Redco is a little bit more quiet, he's come up on top in terms of clutches. He's come up on top in terms of setting down that not only the terms of play to start the round, but also those mid-round adjustments when the teams don't have the answers. Now, coming back into these two teams, ORGLESS doesn't seem as strong in terms of firepower when you compare them to LaZe. But for ORGLESS, what they have in terms of value is going to be those 300 IQ plays. But let's have a look at the head-to-heads.
Yeah, this is something we want to highlight for you guys at home, right? So Flaring versus Divine. We've had to talk about the IGLs, we had to talk about the duelists, but let's take a look at the controllers. Divine versus Flaring. ACS 197 for Divine, 172 for Flaring. KDA about the same. But, you know, stats aside, I think I just want to highlight these two players because they are the rock of the team. Your controller, the one with the smokes, the one that actually provides the flexible covers that your team can actually go for executes, go for retakes on. Flaring has stepped up immensely yesterday. I think he looked really clean.
Oh, yeah.
And we remember Divine being absolutely dominant on Sunset versus this team right here, ORGLESS. He was just destroying them when they came over to his side. He picks up the up. He's very dynamic with his teleports and his paranoias. I think this head-to-head really highlights, you know, the team chemistry that's going to be coming to play, because these two are team players, but they can also shine under the bright lights.
It's always interesting because if I want to talk about style of play, both players are very aggressive. I would say controllers. They're not afraid to take up space. They're very aggressive. They can play selfishly if they need to. Also, when it comes to multi-frags, both players are very adept. Because don't let the ACS deceive you. The only difference between these stats is the fact that LaZe plays a little bit more of an aggressive style play, which really relies on them really fragging out, really taking up space. That is why you can see this high ACS come through. But when it comes to everything else, I believe that when it comes to Flaring, he's more of a specialist in terms of controller. He plays a certain controller where he feels a lot more comfortable with, as opposed to Divine, who's a little bit more, I would say, flexible. He can play multiple controllers. He can go into different styles of aggressive plays. So those are I would say, the kind of different things that we can expect to see from these two players. Regardless, firepower-wise, I think they're I think it's both very similar, but at today,
a little bit,
yeah. I mean, when it comes to today, I think it comes back to the whole bombastic style play, to that, I would say, very not controlled. I don't think that's the right word. I think the right word would be more of not 300 IQ.
Be like a bit structured.
Set play.
Yeah.
ORGLESS likes to do set plays. Yes, there we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like the point that you mentioned about their aggression, right? Because I think Divine's aggression, it's a bit more individualistic. He's sometimes, you can see him anchoring the site by himself, and he has to be a little bit more aggressive to, buff up his presence right there. Maybe he's the only guy on the A side. He has to show that there's a little bit more obstruction than what it actually is. On the other hand, Flaring actually plays a little bit more passive. He hates to give away opening deaths. That is one of the stats that he's actually the highest in, or at least the best in, where he does not give away opening kills. He's very, very methodical, and he always sticks to the team. And, is that rock, right? As long as he lives, you have smokes for the retake, you have smokes for the execute. Very, very crucial. But as we go into the map vetoes, this is our best of 5 that we're going to be running our match on, right? So LaZe banning out that split, as well as the Icebox, coming in as the highest seed from the upper bracket. They get to ban both of those maps, which is insane, like at an insane advantage. And then we're going to go on to Lotus, Breeze, Bind, Sunset, and Ascent if required. Thoughts on this, Tash? What do you think of this map pool?
I mean, I'm not surprised coming through. I mean, ORGLESS split is one of the strongest I've seen so far. Regardless of the firepower that comes through, ORGLESS knows how to play around that particular map. And the same can be said about Icebox. So these two maps, very methodical, very strat heavy, taken out of the pool. Now, having Lotus and Breeze coming into this map, I mean, like we've seen LaZe picking this map. And I think that it's very interesting when you talk about Lotus, because ORGLESS is also a map that also thrives on Lotus as well. But the difference now is, because it's a 3-side map and we have these individuals, very strong individual players. For Lotus and Breeze, it comes down to those aim duels. It comes down to those long range plays. But when it comes to Bind, I'm expecting, I don't know why, but I'm expecting ORGLESS to really take this one. Because again, it's very methodical. It relies on those set plays. But at the same time, Bind is also a map that I would say rewards teams like LaZe, who is very bombastic, very aggressive, explodes onto site. And once you explode onto site, you have players like perhaps like Kenji, like Zan, who is really eager to take up space all the way to the backside, just deny as much space as possible. Sunset, ORGLESS's map, again, coming back to the set plays, they love this side of plays where they can be so fluid when it comes to playing the mid side, playing mains, playing those lurk heavy areas where it comes to, especially toward tiles. And now Ascent is going to be very interesting, because I feel like for Ascent, ORGLESS might have the upper hand, but LaZe, playing very aggressively, might win in terms of having the man advantage toward the last possible moments. Remember, the last time these two teams went to head, each round of the map was a lot more close, even though despite the fact that it was a little more of a landslide toward LaZe. But before that particular match with 13-4, 13-4, we saw a lot more stronger or very, very balanced between these two teams. Now coming into today, the question is, has ORGLESS come back from that, I would say, that landslide tilt that they had a few days ago? Number 2, they played yesterday and LaZe had that 1-day break. What has LaZe learned from yesterday? And ORGLESS, are they tired to continue the game today, or are they pumped and going to be riding off the momentum from the matches they had yesterday?
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting to see, right? Because LaZe did have that extra day to do a little bit more VOD reviews of ORGLESS, and despite it being a 3-0 series, right, in the favor of ORGLESS, they had to reveal a little bit of their hand, right? They play on the Ascent split and as well as Lotus. So a little bit of info for LaZe there, and I'm curious to see how LaZe want to capitalize on that. But yes, we're going to jump straight into the game, straight into Agent Select. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the grand finals. We're just on the cusp of kicking it off. Super excited. And look at the agent change. Frey going off of the Cypher, going back on the chamber that we know him for years ago.
I missed his chamber. He's back. I think the first time I noticed him, like I really paid attention to him, was that chamber. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you want to keep your eyes on the screen. Long, amazing zebra ears against ORGLESS. friends outside of the server. And in the server, they are both vying for that champion's title. Will LaZe have this undefeated playoffs run? Or will ORGLESS turn it around, shock everyone, and have that lower bracket underdog run that we love to see? We've seen it in Madrid. Will we see it here in Malaysia's Singapore Challengers?
Super exciting to see that Chamber is being picked by Frey as well. It's an agent that we all remember him for. He did actually pick it recently up against Disguise, and a little bit of map data, a little bit of stats, nerd stuff coming in. The only time that LaZe has lost on Lotus was against DSG, and it was 12-14. Other than that, it's been pretty strong victories for LaZe on this map. 13-3, 13-5, 13-11, a close affair, but it was against Ninjas, which, Lotus is their home map, and 13-8 against DSG most recently. And that was when Frey picked up that chamber, and he was killing with that chamber. He was really proficient, finding all those frags with that headhunter of his, and yeah, he had a 6-0 first kill differential. So that is something to be a little bit cautious for on the side of ORGLESS. Let's see what they have in store for us. Nothing different from the ORGLESS comp side, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge in my opinion.
Personally, it's going to be really exciting for me because you did say there was a change in the change in the comp. So what are you expecting from these changes? What do you think will be the adaptation that both teams are going to be doing?
So something very curious is that this is the new playoffs composition that is picked by the side of LaZe. Recently, or at least previously before the playoffs, they did not run Yoru. They did not run Chamber, and they did not run Fade. So those three agents coming in is a big change up, right? Three agents being changed in such drastic fashion. The Chamber is a wild difference from Cypher. The Fade slightly different from the Sky, and the Yoru coming in replace of the Jet. So I think it's gonna require a lot of team synergies, and we know how synergistic Fade is with Raze, and as well as the style and muting abilities in combination with the Yoru. But here we go into the first pistol round. Let's see who wants to set the tempo for this one. Kenji around the smoke. There's 4 players just standing around, but it's a great crossfire coming in. Kenji actually finds 2 kills, but the trade frags are here. Vera, the first kill, and flaring the trade frag in as well. Zan around the corner, wants to peek out. A brilliant tap comes through. The spike being tapped for, but they want to find the kills though. But Zan mops up the floor, and it's just Vera left in a 1v1 against Frey.
Very, very aggressive. 4 men entering into B so very early, both taking heavy casualties, but Frey comes up on top with a beautiful tap, and the banter starts very early today.
Oh yeah, I'm expecting a lot of banter from these two teams. I mean, of course, they are friends in and out of the server, but it's a lot of competitive drive within both of these teams as well. It's pretty curious as well. Frey just buying, what is this, 6 Headhunter bullets and the Ghost as well. No need for any trips, just gonna take those.
I mean, you don't need those very early, but I really like the fact that Frey has this confidence to run that Headhunter.
Yes.
Very, very, I think that was what really, highlighted him to everyone in the Malaysia-Singapore server about what he is capable of. One of the most insane Sentinels I've ever seen. It's almost really scary how much space he can hold and how quick he is with taking up space. Now, coming into this round is going to be a eco for ORGLESS. Now, regardless of that eco, ORGLESS is taking his head on, taking this aggression through, understanding that this is a round that they have nothing to lose. I think the objective for round number 2 for a lot of teams is to be able to take as many guns away as possible, but we've seen the damage that can come through in round 2, especially with the Sheriffs. The taps that come in from both teams have been phenomenal.
The name of the game, right, is a little bit of damage. If you get the spike down as well, that'll be such a huge bonus. But of course, all the players just creeping up the front side of C. Pounce surely coming in. Oh, around the smoke, around the corner. They actually path differently, unconventional. They find both frags on the C side. That should allow them a plan as well. And they've gotten so much real estate on towards the CT position.
But just real estate, they're also managed to take up that area all the way to CT area, disallowing them entry onto the seaside itself. The only space they had now is to a waterfall. LaZe then quick on the taps of Tavera, takes him down with only 34 HP. He's not deterred at all to just really run it back forward. Holding down the line, LaZe still going in with that flash, flashes through. No one will be tagged with that. A good tap onto the head, grumble, pop it head, close round. ORGLESS takes it back, 1-1.
Just as you say, right, Taj, you gotta be careful. You never know what ORGLESS might have in store for you. And just that, a contact play up, you know, right where the smokes drop at the front side of C. They drop their own dark cover and they just creep around through it and they catch them off guard. That pathing is unconventional. When have you seen an attacker come through and then path straight to the right side towards waterfall and then wrap around the defenders on the C side? And LaZe, ooh, that's not a great start that you want. Now they are on an eco of their own, and ORGLESS very, very much happy of that success.
Of course, they're going to be very happy with that, but Zan with the opening, Flaring will reply. This is huge, coming back here. Despite the ecos, both teams are doing so well, but Frey tags 2 with just the Headhunter. A lot of damage coming in from both areas, but now quickly just creeping onto the side here. Redco all alone, and Kenji so okay with giving away that space. He's going to try and find a different way to play inside, just waiting for Grumble to go in for that sandwich. I'm not sure if Redco is aware that he's being caught on from 2 different areas, as Tyron already here with a gun, an upgrade if you may, of his own, quickly tags him down. A quick round, to say the least, and both teams just trading ecos at this point. This seem very deja vu-ish from Madrid.
This is crazy. We have back and forth rounds in the first 3 already. I mean, back-to-back thrifties. You know, both teams taking it towards the seaside, but this time LaZe with the heavy stack, the read, the gamble coming in, and they win it out. It's crazy to see. And Styron, you know, we saw him coming on the flank as well, and credit to, if I'm not mistaken, it was Kenji, right? The second one that was alive in that situation.
Yeah, it was.
Playing it safe, right? You see him giving up the site, like, hey, Redco, have the spike plant. You can have it all you want. We're going to win the round. Styron's coming on the flank. We'll pincer you in. Brilliantly done. This time, guns on both sides. Who's gonna take it?
And Zan aggressive into the smokes. Takes one down, will be punished, but Flaring takes 2. But the game of trades is still going on very heavily toward the mid side here. Battle of the IGLs. Redco calls on Kenji, but a re-hit toward the C side. And it's honestly very smart because it's sort of playing with the sound cues, but you can see that there's no reposition at all from Styron. Reading this very well. Frey still holding on rubble, making sure that no one passes through. But it's going to be, frankly, a very quiet entry onto Seaside. No one putting any barriers as both of these players from ORGLESS get onto the site itself. It's going to be a game of retakes, but not too sure how quickly the rotates are going to be happening and how much time they're going to have to play and take the site.
Yeah, Siren actually gonna make a boatload of noise, opening the door, making his presence known. So now they know that's confirmed. There's gonna be one player coming in from the flank. But where is Frey? Right, Siren making a load of noise, drawing the attention. Frey has to come in now. A great seize, though. I think catches both of the players. They're stuck there. The spam is perfect from Siren. It's a 1 versus 2 for Redco. But the trade is there for
that
Frey.
Double swing. Just so
1 versus 1 comes down to it. It's crazy to see these rounds unfold so close so many times.
It was very fun watching that, honestly. A good double swing to come through. Does not allow a reposition as well. I like the fact that how they played that is just so good. Now, I've been noticing that LaZe, how they played this defense is honestly very interesting. You have Frey not only just playing the defense very well, but he pushes all the way up to main site. He's either going to go for that reposition, and if no one's there, he's going to take up space all the way to the other side and go for that flank. And it's not that ORGLESS is not ready for that flank. It's just more the fact that they're just so distracted by the firepower coming in front of their eyes that it's hard for them to really put all of their attention to the back side.
Oh, their force on Frey. He's able to see above this smoke, but attention drawn in multiple places. He has to just back off. Not sure where they're gonna peek out from, and here comes the execute straight into the site. Prowl looks on through, Red Coast here in front as well, but so is Frey. Torre Force!
He's
A blast
already
from
on
the past,
three!
and Frey gets 3 kills, mops up the rounds, and therefore the assist as well. It's a flawless run from LaZe, and it's a clean one. So easily
That's
just mopped down
disgusting.
with that off.
That's disgusting.
Take a look at it.
Look at how he plays this. He just goes in for that peak, but he plays that angle to perfection. It's very tiny micro angles, and he's sort of just kind of like peekabooing at the same time, just changing times with Zan, which makes it so hard for him to really
Yeah.
land a shot. That tour de force,
Beautiful play. Yeah, I mean,
scary on the hands of Frey, honestly.
it really is just a blast from the past. Like, Frey was a menace on Chamber back in the day when he was so much more meta. And this change up, I mean, I think this is just LaZe leaning a little bit more into Frey's firepower, right? They know how good he is. Instead of just keeping him on that cypher, now he's unleashed, allowing him to go for those opening frags. And he's so proficient at doing so on this Chamber. He looks so comfortable. But now timeout being called for ORGLESS. Right? What's the change up? This is an attack side of map, guys. ORGLESS needs to put up a couple more rounds. 4 is fantastic to kick off the start for LaZe already. But ORGLESS, money, bit of an awkward situation. Might not be able to go for a full buy, but they have so many ults that they might be able to pull off something if it's coordinated. Showstopper, Viper's Pit, the Nightfall, and a couple ults away from the Killjoy lockdown as well. We'll have to see. ORGLESS, can they have something in store for LaZe on this eco?
Honestly, for LaZe, this is what I talked about in terms of firepower. They're very aggressive. Look at how aggressive they are. Their defense, but they're pushing up toward the aggressor side. Now, we've already seen this rate from ORGLESS. They've already put that early smokes to disallow them from pushing out toward them. And now immediately they're just going to start funneling up toward the A side. They have the wall from Redco. They can quickly take out the orb if they want to. They can pivot back if they want to as well. But I'm not sure if they're aware that Frey has been here. They have their crosshairs that are on their area. There we go. And he immediately just teleports away, which immediately means that free A side, but retakes are on the count here as Redco immediately going to play up to the heaven side.
And they realized A side is actually not really defended for. They use the Nightfall and the Viper's Pit to clear out the entire CT position, and that's info. Nobody tagged up there. It's most likely going to be a heavy flank position, and with the weaker weapons, what can they do? Sides are flipped. The attackers become the defenders. Viper's Pit in tow, though, so only rifle on Redco. Dimensional Drift trying to find out all the information. Showstopper popped off as well. On both sides, the double rockets come through. Kenji finds the first onto Redco. Back on the side, backs are turned, heads are turned. Kenji, Styron both find frags, but it's still in a 1 versus 2. Dizzy, does he have nano swarms? No. Define finds the frag, but is there enough time? It's so close.
He gets it.
Oh my god, just a second to spare. LaZe, they weather the storm and they pick up that 5th.
And that's exactly why they want a Zan on their team, to really just counter Redco's, I would say, not only just for that, but honestly, just to really counter that ult set down by the Viper's Pit. Now, how it's done is honestly just Zan just quickly running into the pit and immediately finding where Redco was. And off that information, Kenji just blasts onto the site, and before Redco could even reposition, he immediately knocks him out away with that showstopper. Honestly, a great counter strat against Redco, and honestly the best way at this point, because usually when we think about how you want to really displace a Viper from the pit is to use the lockdown, but having that Yoru on is also another great and smart way to do so.
Yeah, really great to just go in, like an entry, basically like a Sky Trailblazer, but with a lot more mobility, of course.
A lot more mobility. But it's also great because as soon as he gets out of the dimensional drift, he can either go for a quick reposition and just immediately go for those 2 heads, just exactly how Zan does it. And I think that's his specialty, honestly, maining this Yoru for this tournament.
In the meantime, ORGLESS just feigning a little bit of presence, opening the door, threatening the possibility that they could have gone towards their tree position. But it's curious, right? ORGLESS, all 5 players here, there's no luck on the other side of the map. In the meantime, LaZe has gotten information towards Mound. You see Frey together with Divine, both controlling that B and C portions of the map. That allows 3 players of LaZe to stack here towards the Zay side. Got a double duel as well as the IGL. That's information. Nightfall, that's the Q. Tags up 3 players. Styron coming that across to his team. Here comes the execute straight to the site.
A quick pick by Vera, straight onto Kenji, and despite the decay, despite the deafen, undeterred, still takes these fights. Redco holding, stairs. The other members of LaZe scrambling through onto Heaven's side. Redco trying to find a way just to disallow anyone to get onto the site itself. Nanoswarm picked, but Zan not worried at all about taking in that damage. Decoy comes through. Everyone knows exactly where he is. A quick pick from Frey. Headhunter, strong, up as well. Flaring for 2. A 1v1 in the end. Flaring comes up on top with 3 of his own. And ORGLESS manages to find an answer.
This is why I put up the hit-to-hit. This is why I want to highlight the controllers flaring the 1v3 clutch. That was crazy coming in from him. He was stuck in the corner. He had nowhere else to run. He pops down a beautiful dark cover within the mid of the site. And that allows him to isolate these frags. Right here, you can see the recap of the situation that was unfolded. It looked like LaZe was going to steal away another round. Flaring lines them up. So much dark cover around. Isolates those fights. And it puts ORGLESS to a second round. But Frey still here, still willing to fight. Spots out a lot of pressure. Takes a shot, but unfortunately misses that one. Vera lucky to be alive at this point, but still ORGLESS gain control with the rubble position.
Honestly, this point it's just been very, very hard for ORGLESS just really secure that post plant. In this situation, you hear the door. Yeah, the door already opened. But look at where Dizzy is. I think he might know where Divine is. They just spot out each other. Quick flick. Dizzy takes one down, and B side completely in their control.
I love this orb as well that Redco throws towards the broken door. It makes retaking from that position extremely difficult, and that funnels the rest of LaZe to come in from the CN Heaven position. Here comes the flash into the site. This crossfire is being set up. It's perfectly done. Nano swarms to delay any spike from being tapped as well. The smoke comes through. Zan tries his best, but Grumble is here, standing his ground.
Takes 2
Frey.
already. Frey moves back. Immediately jumps up forward, but Vera, satchel play, disgusting. Takes him down, but Frey did a lot of damage in that round.
That was crazy coming in from the side of ORGLESS. It's not every day that you see them go for a B-side execute off the bat, but that was the name of the game, and I think a lot of that round rides on Dizzy's kill towards that B main position. Him finding Divine in that 1 versus 1 allowed them access towards B main, allowed them security to play close spans from there. If Divine won that, I think that round would have been very, very different, right? Because Divine would have had sole control over the entirety of B main, and that split would have essentially just become a one-pronged attack from the broken door. So great job coming in from ORGLESS. The individual shining. LaZe holds a timeout. You have to evaluate their options. 2 rounds in a row is a bit too much for their liking already. Ultimates, faced with a lot up against ORGLESS. They got 3. Nightfall and Killjoy lockdown available. The other side of things, they might want to go for a hero rifle on the side of LaZe, but yeah, decisions. Might want to go for something aggressive as well.
Honestly, it's so fun watching ORGLESS just really try and figure each other out. I think what's really exciting as well is the fact that every single round is just very, very close to each other. It comes down to the wire, and this comes back to the match. I think 2-3 days before their first match entirely, not first match, right before playoffs. Excuse me. When we saw how competitive these two teams are, a team with high firepower just being answered back with just strats, reading patterns. LaZe is not changing their tempo at all. Beautiful one-way setup as well, and they're not giving up the space toward Mound. And I think that ORGLESS is very aware of this. They know that the weak side is going to be A, it's going to be B. They already marked.
They never expect,
exactly. They already marked.
B hit.
They didn't expect a double B hit. They can hit B and they can open a door and just quickly find 3. One player already holding on top of the side of B, and immediately they open the door, spots one out. Unfortunately, the op does not pick, but Redco does, and Zan knocked down.
Want to push on this issue. Kenji's here. Kenji's fragging out. This might be a mistake. Kenji is finding all of the kills, 3 in a round already, and he's yearning for more. Vera trying to pick up the pieces, find the ground. Divine answers with 1. Vera shorty in the smoke, picks up the rifle. It's a 1 versus 1. Showstopper's here. The door's been closed though, and Divine escapes with his life. But that allows Vera a little bit of time, a little bit of space. Doesn't even care that his ultimate's running out. It's gonna go beeline straight towards this A side. Divine has deformed the shadow so he could
30
reposition, but
seconds left.
at this point in time, it's question marks. Vera has the time to reposition anywhere in this site. Where does he opt to go for 4 bullets in the chamber? A nade to boot.
It's really quiet. Playing out the top
In the
side.
smoke. Alright, smoking the spike plant, but Vera with the timing peeks around the corner. No, so close with 4 bullets, he still manages to make it work. Here's the smoke being put down, he spins on a dime and manages to find it right at the opportune moment, and Divine's head was back turned as well. ORGLESS thanking their lucky stars. That was an incredibly close round. That was a low buy coming in from LaZe, but still they make it extremely close down to a 1 versus 1, and that, at the very least, is going to cause a little bit of economic damage. They got the full buy in this one. Yet again, Frey and Zen pushing down at C lane. But again, ORGLESS, no way you go in. What's this B side for a 3rd round in a row? Ritko's mind is expanding as we speak.
Oh, Rico's mind is expanding. That's a good one. Frey.
Oh, wait, what? He opens the door.
That's huge. Opens the door, finds one out. That's exactly how you want to play it. That's good teamwork, good communication as well. Immediately, Vera takes out the space onto top B and immediately just takes out the space, quietly waiting. He hears Kenji's footsteps, sprays through. You hear the Nightfall come out as well. Does not tag them. Vera pulls to a link and a teleport from flaring onto the other side. Just really trying to catch everyone off guard as they're going in from those different rotation, different lurks. Tyron becomes the first victim down. And as time ticks down here, you hear Vera one, take 2 from Grumble as well. And finally, last man standing, Divine. Nice strafe coming through, a double swing forward. If you may, Divine wins 1, but it's never gonna be 2 when you are against ORGLESS. And now we go 5-5, the equalizer to come through, and ORGLESS says, hello, LaZe. We're here to play.
4 rounds in a row answered by another 4 in a row. ORGLESS off the back of that timeout, they have figured things out. B side looks like it's the weakness. 3 times in a row, they put heavy commitment towards that. And despite LaZe getting that opening pick, Frey opening the door and just instantly taking out Dizzy without him even having a chance to speak in that round, they still pull it out ahead. ORGLESS, their B side executes have been looking pretty solid, but it's gonna be an A side execute from both of these teams. Low buy by LaZe though. Can they make things work? Vera with the up in hand flank TP's over. It's a big fight for the ages. Paranoia comes through, but it's not gonna be enough. All of them falling like well, I almost said flies. Maybe I'm a little bit hungry, but
I mean,
hey, ORGLESS are hungry for that win. 6 rounds in a row. Sorry, 5 rounds, and gotta put up 6 in just a little bit. Frey, nothing to answer, just a classic in hand. Think is all he's gonna get. It's a flawless round coming in for ORGLESS, a clean one at that.
you know
Last
what?
round
They're
before
hungry
we
for
switch.
wins. I have to say that we're really looking at it right now. ORGLESS coming through. I think it's just honestly a battle of momentum at this point for both these teams because we rarely really seen those trades come through. Regardless on, we do have those rounds we are a little bit more, I would say a little bit more aggressive. These teams are just very close. I mean, we talked about the set plays coming through from ORGLESS, and they give exactly that. Very strat heavy on how exactly they want to play. Very methodical. It took them a few rounds to really figure out how exactly LaZe plays their defense. And once it's figured out, it's almost impossible to really pick them off one by one. They did immediately go toward the seaside mount. They wanted to take control of that, but they were not quick enough. The Haunts from Grumble is taken out, and now Frey, look at that. The op already holding this area, and is read very, very well by ORGLESS. I don't think they want to peek this. If they want to, they're gonna have to either go for a flash, go for a disposition, whether with a Haunt, whether with a Prowler. But they're just trying to make time tick down. Maybe explode onto the site. Maybe find a way, gather some information. Now with the wall up once again, Redco slowly sneaks his way onto the site. Frey still playing very, very casually, and that's the Haunt they wanted to wait for. Displaces Frey. Actually, he's no undeterred. He's just not worried at all. Spots one out. Immediately, Redco gets taken down. Tossing out. Another pick forward. Teleports away. Survived with only 10 HP off his life. And that's already pretty much a lot of value done. And immediately Zan, that one way, not in his favor. Swinging out. He takes immediately Vera out of the way. And now
30
ORGLESS
seconds left.
down by 2. Not having the man advantage at all. And now comes Dimensional Drift. And immediately the pop through with the showstopper.
enemy
Kenji
remaining.
finds one, and so does Divine. A clean round from ORGLESS. It's just about finding Grumble. Grumble playing from door. Not happening. As Zan quickly finds him on the other side. And that's how scary it is having Zan as a Yoru on the team. As Zan says, you know what? I'm not just a Jet. I'm also a Yoru this season.
It's so interesting to see that both of these teams, yeah, they take a lot of rubble control, but not as many A executes as I would expect. ORGLESS, their game plan changing up just a little bit, and it kind of threw LaZe for a spin in the second half. Well, the second half of the first half, right? A lot of B attacks, a lot of B hits. And the final round, yeah, LaZe managed to stabilize, and 6 rounds. It's not bad considering that this map is pretty attacker-sided. But of course, right, you got such a lead at the first few rounds. It was 5-1 at some point. Now down to 6-6, swapping sides, LaZe mounting this attack. This chamber in tow, surely. This pistol's got quite a bit of opportunities for some damage right
That's
here.
a lot
Frey.
of tags.
I think
Interesting.
it only tags 1 though, right?
I think
Frey's
it
the
was
only one there.
Yeah, I think it was a sound. It was a sound bug.
Yeah. You get, you know, you go in and out of cover and it's just like...
I didn't even know to do that. That's new to me.
Yeah, if you go in and out of cover, the haunt can scare you multiple times, but it's still going to be one person. But here comes the execute straight in. Paranoia coming in from flaring, but
No
Kenji
way.
just pushes the issue right up in his face. But Grumble's there to pick up the pieces once more. Takes down Frey as well, but around the corner, this is an awkward position. Styron's here expecting this position, but is he expecting the other player in this tight little corner? Nope, Vera takes him out. 2 versus 3. Divine's on extremely low HP, and he has the spike as well. He's kind of stuck in this position. It's all onto Zan. What can Zan find as a little bit of venture towards this B side? It's a kill, but damage given in return. Both of these players on 10 HP. Dizzy and Redco coming
30
in for
seconds
this
left.
retake. They're giving over this A side. The turret though, hey, it's still up. It might deal just enough damage.
Enemy remaining.
And that is the perfect time for Dizzy to swing off of that. And Redco, while the attention is turned, will find Divine. 7th round now for ORGLESS. Pick up the second pistol.
Honestly, that was beautifully done. A nice crossfire with the turret, if you may. I think that's all honestly a very, very smart move by them. Understanding that when the turret goes off, you can just quickly swing on off the other side because that's the only way you can come through. Now, coming down into this particular round, I think it was not only was it very close, both teams suffered heavy casualties coming through. Now it's just a matter of trying to figure out how exactly ORGLESS plays this defense. Speaking of that, Vera, very early with that Marshall. He knows exactly this one there. And don't peek him, he goes down. 2 exactly picked off. And now with the grenade coming through, Styler walks up, and Kenji answers back as well. And despite the damage done by Vera, it's already been reset, and Grumble has to give away the space. Good delay time with that Prowler. Still holding down. Tap through with the Guardian. He taps 1. Over 2 here. Unfortunately doesn't. Frey on the other end. Spike dropped in a very open position. The smoke will give him a little bit of space to play, and Frey not able to land his shots. It's a little bit short-sighted from the other end. Thankfully, Dizzy is there, watching his right. So clean round from both sides, and they bring 3 guns to round 3. Bonus round, if you may. And LaZe comes through with all these rifles. This is where it gets a little bit more scary. But I've seen rounds where ORGLESS can come out on top just for playing a little bit more smart. And Redco has been pretty proficient with the openings with the Sheriff.
Yeah, in this bonus round, they've got a couple of decent weapons to work with, right? Vera's actually going to be committing to buying this Vandal into this round. Redco's just going to go up with the Sheriff. They are setting up their key players for success. Got a couple of rifles in here. Could pack a punch. An instant... Oh, wait. Frey managed to catch onto Flaring just as he TPs away. He was standing within the Viper snake bite, if I'm not mistaken, towards this A rubble position. That smoke's gone. Omen out of the round. Divine hears the footsteps. Wants to pounce on this player right here. Grumble being spotted out for. Turret being broken as well. LaZe gotten quite a bit of advantage here. ORGLESS are reading it. You can see heavy stack towards the C and B side. Flank play coming in as well. Vera versus Divine. A big kill coming in from Divine. Zan finds 1 more as well. And the flood retakes not coming through. All of the kills going the way of LaZe. ORGLESS, this bonus has nothing to it.
Very clean round, honestly. Almost felt like a jinx. Terrifying, honestly. As soon as I mentioned about Redco just now.
I wonder.
I
Who
wonder.
could we attribute that to?
Maybe. I mean, regardless of what I want to say, I am casting this game today, so it's gonna be happening. Now I have to say that I was expecting the round to be a little bit more close. They did have some pretty heavy duty guns on their hands, but not the round to win, but a round that they can finally come back from. Half shields all around for ORGLESS as well. Only person with full shields is going to be Redco. Running that judge, and we've seen him play this judge, I think, only a few days ago. Yesterday as well. It was disgusting.
Abused it.
He abused it. He plays his very close corners. He plays off his teammates. His teammates are just very quick to just give away or just really distract as well. Vera already low from that wall, bangs, and immediately Divine takes him out. Quick on that trade as well. The doors keep spinning, and finally Zan comes through. Not too sure when exactly or how many is going to be there. Is the problem? Very and Grumble quick on that.
Wow.
Holding a nice crossfire, making sure that none of them can just swing them at the same time. To say that ORGLESS is a team that is 300 IQ now is something that I have to take away. I can't say anymore because LaZe is reading them like a book.
Well, Frey, it's all onto him, but his presence is being noted. Dizzy's here, very much expecting this play to come through. And Frey is actually going to call in the rest of his team to come through. Dizzy around this corner. When does he strike? Paranoia comes through, and he's still playing around the corner. Has to destroy that alarm board, and that causes Crosshair to be off kilter. Reveal onto flaring of Frey is gonna push the issue even further. Frey, beautiful frag around the corner, and now Redco and Grumble in this retake.
Look at the
Paula, just for information, Grumble find the kill on Siren. Oh, and they both can't hear anything. One on top, one below. They don't even see Kenji. Oh, Kenji around the corner, not expecting it. They didn't hear a single thing. The Nightfall deafens them, and Redco steals the round from right under their noses.
Honestly terrifying and very smart, honestly, because he dropped as soon as the Nightfall falls.
Yeah.
And because there was a lot of sound and everyone was so distracted for Heaven, it gave Redco a lot of space to work with. And that's how I say a beautiful masterclass of a beautiful set play. And because of that, I think ORGLESS calling in for that timeout. And I think in this particular round, they want to make sure that Vera can really utilize that showstopper. The last time he had that showstopper, I think what was really exciting is the fact that the showstopper was used as merely a zoning material. How he played that was really just to pop the showstopper, and immediately Divine walks away, and he had full access to the entire round. Now this one, I think it comes down to ORGLESS on how exactly they use their utilities. I think ORGLESS is a team that really knows how to play off these utilities very aggressively, albeit not being more aggressive, more bombastic, more brute forces, not expecting those very aggressive sort of plays like a flash come through and a swing to come out. ORGLESS is a team that says, okay, if we were to Nightfall this way, where exactly can we entry to clear and just distract them and come through? And that's exactly the type of play that ORGLESS brings in. Very surgical, very clean. Now for ORGLESS, I wonder what they have in store for this particular round.
I mean, surely you have to work around that showstopper, right? It's a fantastic ult to open up rounds. You got to be careful though, because you can see on the other side, LaZe, one off the showstopper, one off the dimensional drift, and two off the tour de force, as well as the from the shadows. Both, well, at least a lot of those ults on the cusp of being attained. Up in hands of Frey. Paranoia is great. Pushes him back along. Oh, and the showstopper being invested by Vera. They set him up for success. I didn't even hear it because of the paranoia, but they're gonna push it even further. And LaZe wants to accelerate into the seaside. Redco is here with his tactic judge. Just holding it down. Vera from the back lines shuts down Divine, and LaZe scrambling for what little they have left. 2 versus 5.
Zan, to hold it around. He puts the clone out on the other end. It's really playing. He steps in immediately. Whoa! That through just playing out the sound cues. A spray that immediately finds Redco. Immediately. Another one takes up. A flash to come through. Swinging out. Dizzy goes down. A good trade to come through as well. Vera. Final man holding. Really clear out Bend with that nade. Off to the other hand. Nowhere to go. Vera takes 3. ORGLESS taking 10 as well. Despite it being a LaZe map, ORGLESS, they have done their homework and they've seemed to figure LaZe out. And now this particular round is very different though. Zan with the Dimensional Drift and the Showstopper from Kenji, might be having a wombo combo once again, perhaps.
Yeah, but that, as we mentioned, right, during the tech pause, Vera, the only ult in the hands of ORGLESS, he makes it work so well. Spool sends it down A with the paranoia, finds onto Frey, and then backed up by Grumble as well. But this time around, ult's on the other side. What a flick coming in! Vera destroys Frey. Finds a second onto his counterpart. Kenji, nothing to say. Vera's on a heater, on a blinder. What are these shots coming in from Vera? They have nothing to answer for. Prowler spots him out. On for the ace as well. Goes around the corner, and yes, it is. Vera with the ace in tow, the off and the classic. This man is on a blinder of a game.
Beautiful flicks all around. Quick on that reaction time. Jump peaks punished. And as though he's saying, why are you still trying to peek me? Understanding that LaZe is just trying to get information, trying to punish him for playing with that op. And he's just
Vera's
holding.
just pushing them with the op.
I think it's just a lesson here to be learned that if you're going to peek him, you better peek him from multiple angles here. Because if you peek one by one, he's going to be punished. Immediately, Frey pops his own Sword of Force, and Zen coming in the Dimensional Drift. Immediately, they hear exactly where Redko is, and Redko tries to contest that. Punished immediately from the Showstopper, playing underneath of Heaven. Grumble spots out Kenji. They don't know that he's there quite yet. Zan, surprise, surprise, pop goes the Weasel. Pops one out. Dizzy for two as Vera pops another one out. Divine on the top side. I'm not sure if he spots one out. He was all the way on the other side. Showstopper! And Divine punished. Not too sure what happened there. I'm not sure.
Divine somehow manages to creep around on the backline.
He spots two out. Trigger Discipline on top. But you gotta give it to
Vera had an ult like 2 rounds ago, and he got it again.
That's insane. Yeah, because
remember that?
he had the
op ace. He got his ult so fast.
What is going on? That was messy.
I was like, shit. We saw like 3 Raze ults in the past 4 rounds.
Past 4 rounds, yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm just surprised that he didn't spot him out. The timing was scary.
Yeah. Well, this might be even scarier. Vera's back and ready to tango. Oh, Octopi coming in. The teleport coming in from Zen as well. But Flaring's there for the trade. But Grumble, reliable pair of hands, peeks out and assists his teammate. On the corner, Styrum finds a timing. And that's the ace side open for business. All right, Divine. Let's see what they can find. Pushing aggressively. But now on the back lines, Grumble is there to pick up that kill onto Styron.
No charges.
Lockdown invested as well. Divine with a brilliant paranoia, but Dizzy blind sprays him down. And that is it. That is the round. That is the map. 13-7. ORGLESS adding insult to injury. And they take home the map pick of LaZe.
Honestly, ORGLESS just saying don't challenge us on our own map picks here. Understanding how exactly to play. I think ORGLESS showing us what exactly it means, how to play a side, how to take a side, and how to do these set plays. I think ORGLESS has really shown us this happen a few times already now, and how exactly they like to just really stack up these ultimates, play off each other. We saw the ult from Zan. Earlier from LaZe, we saw the Kenji as well. But they're showing us that, okay, you guys have this set play, but we have a few on our playbook as our own. They're very, very patient, ORGLESS. They're okay to play for those retakes. They're okay to play off information. And honestly, having the firepower, I take it back about those hero plays. Hero plays all around coming today, especially from Vera. He's very quick with that op. And it's very, very terrifying, especially if you're not setting your times very, very well. DZ as well, beautifully done, playing with his turret, playing a different angle. You don't have another player to play crossfire with you. There's Timmy the turret, and I think it's very, very well done from both teams. Yes, very aggressive from LaZe, but ORGLESS showing us that the way to stop aggression is to have beautifully done set plays, beautifully done recipes rather, to really counter out this play and just really make them waste their utilities and dwindle them down one by one.
Yeah, and that is exactly how ORGLESS like to play, right? They win those rounds bit by bit, step by step. They don't focus too much on, the grand scheme of things. too heavily. And yeah, I mean, Vera with the last couple of rounds as well. Incredible plays coming in from him. But yeah, let's take a look at the highlights on how we even ended up in this place. It all started off with a very, very scrappy beginning, right? It was back and forth, thrifties abound, both teams seeing rounds from each other.
I think when you come down to this, it's very close in the first 4 rounds, regardless of whether or not they understood how to play. Now, it was a back and forth, a battle of momentum, I have to say, for both these teams. Both teams are just very adept. We saw some brilliance come out from Frey. We also saw some brilliance in those op shots coming in from Vera as well. But I think in the end of the day, what really sets them apart is those defense rounds. Because again, starting off strong was LaZe. First 4 rounds on defense. And immediately it was read very well by ORGLESS, and they knew how exactly the protocols on how to take a side, how to get those picks. And I think for ORGLESS, understanding that Frey always goes down to pushes out A side means that B side is going to be their easiest way to take. And from B side, having that space allows them to pivot either to A and C as they get those pickoffs one by one. They play very well with Door as well. Now coming into defense sides, ORGLESS is a team that doesn't have to play very aggressively. They wait in the back first, trying to get as much information as they can, and then finally they collapse onto the other members of LaZe. That collapse is honestly very scary because not only do we see those hero plays come through from Vera, but you start to see those lurks, those flanks, and even crossfires and plays to come through. They're very quick with those double swings as well at the end of the day, which means that despite the fact of getting blinded, getting deafened by utility, there's always going to be another angle that they can play from where their teammate is going to be safe and take away, I would say, come on the other side to really protect their teammates as they are the distraction from 2 different angles. ORGLESS very smart with this, but let's see if LaZe can also be as methodical as they can in the next map, because Breeze is going to be honestly a banger. It's going to be a big map to come through, and I'm excited to see how Vera and Frey play this. They're 2 long-range players.
I think it really comes down to the agent picks, right? But I think Vera always comfortable with the op, and here the ace in this map. Incredible work coming in from the duelist of ORGLESS, and of course the support from his teammates as well. Could not be able to get those kills if not for his teammates. Let's take a look at the recap of this map, right? 11 first kills actually went in the way of LaZe, but yet they were only able to get 7 rounds on the board. Usually teams that get those opening kills usually convert those rounds, and it kind of correlates. But yeah, it's a great victory for ORGLESS to show that they can still win in man deficits. 6 out of 10 post plants won by ORGLESS, 1 out of 3 for LaZe. And those 2 clutches, right? Remember the one where Vera was having the 1v1 versus Divine on that A side, up and above. That one was a big swing round, as well as the one with Redco just running around while his enemies were deafened. So great job coming in from the ORGLESS side. MVPs on both sides gotta be the Razors. 25 and 13 to Vera, 349 ACS, 5 first kills. An impressive work coming in from ORGLESS. Of course, Vera, safe to say, you know, clearly topping that scoreboard.
Oh yeah, Vera on this map was terrifying, honestly. And having teammates like like Grumble and Flaring, who's just so quick to just work with him, has been phenomenal for him. And I think it comes down, like, I mean, yes, we talk about how LaZe has this protocols and set plays just to really counter Redco's Viper. But I think they really underestimated all the other members of ORGLESS on what exactly they can bring to the table. I think Redco was saying, okay, they're gonna try and counter me with this particular set play, and how exactly he's gonna find me through the pit, how exactly they're gonna play through the smokes as well. But I think for ORGLESS, having Flaring, who's a little bit more of an aggressive Omen, who's quick on those repositions as well, to allow them to have different angles of crossfire has been massive. Having Vera, who quickly reacts off to the information as well as utility, has been massive as well. Also, Vera is a type of player who's also very, very okay with using his utility in a way that is for zoning. He pops the showstopper in a way to not only just get a pick, but really just make sure that everyone moves away from the area that he's in, and allows him for a reposition as well. I think what really sets the pace here for ORGLESS is that they're not afraid to give away space. They're not afraid to play back and wait for teammates to come through to play together. And because of that, it really converted into these rounds. Again, you mentioned about how these early picks, especially from LaZe, the opening picks have been massive. From Frey, from Frey, from Styron, from Kenji. But at the same time, when you talk about clutches, it's been massively in the favor of ORGLESS because they would always be having at least 2 versus 1s at the end, which allow them to convert the rounds in their own favor. Which means that in this playbook situation, it shows that, okay, we're a man deficit. What is our protocol when we don't have advantage? How do we fall back? How do we play together? How do we avoid being isolated in our fights to make sure that we don't lose these rounds? Because I think it's already been understood that for LaZe, they have firepower, they win aim duels. How do we counter that? Set plays.
Yeah, and I was left a little bit willing when, or at least wanting when we saw the fade with the Yoru. We didn't exactly see too much of that, but maybe we'll get to see a little bit more interesting action. Our next map of Breeze, we're going for a short little break, and when we come back, map number 2.
remaining. Spike down. One enemy remaining. Enemy remaining. Enemy remaining.
But still, his utility has been so good. Oh, a great molly. Frey flushed out. Connects double headshot. Readjusts his aim. Draco trades him out, but Frey surely gets both of them.
Just insane stuff.
Oh my god, no way!
Oh, all the utility being used by Harbor, but let's get flash. Go! This man is not stopping.
remaining.
Oh my goodness.
They might think it's clear. Juicy dodges Dizzy.
Wow.
Finds a brilliant shot onto Splash. Small little gap, and he makes the most out of it. Kaka goes down as well. Blind of a shot. Just 4 more kills to go. Around the corner, Juicy finds the first, so does Riza. The judge in tow, and it's all for DSG.
Gonna be coming in for the side of DSG, trying to get control of spawn, and Dizzy's able to hold it out. All 3 players towards hell. What can you do at this point? Jumps down, he finds one, he knows there's one more. Can he win after shot? But a third comes out. Wayne and Wayne.
Calling for a little bit of backup, but they've lost Ben's control. Riza's here. Riza lines the ball up. Individual brilliance coming up from DSG through the smoke. It was an ace in the
One
previous,
more ace.
and it's an ace in this one as well. It dictates a lot of your rotations. They have to win this out, and it's not going to be the case yet again. It's a key controller out of the mix. Showstopper, they're going straight in. Smokes her up. Rico ahead of things. Finds the first.
Bringing it back very, very strong despite LaZe's coming up on top in their previous matchup of Lotus. ORGLESS coming back to show us a masterclass on how clean they can come back swinging. Tash Bunny alongside Colin, your casters for today. And this is the grand finals of the Challengers Malaysia Singapore 2024. 4 more maps to go. And the question now is whether LaZe can bring it back to an equalizer.
Yeah, that is that question, right? Because LaZe look a little bit shaky on that second half of Lotus. If I'm not, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. But
And
Breeze
Jinx.
is going to be an interesting pick. Breeze is going to be a very interesting pick because this map, right? The last time that these two teams played, ORGLESS actually won that match up against LaZe, and it was a pretty convincing one. It was 13-7. Back in that group stage, but now here as that map pick of ORGLESS, does LaZe have something to counter that? Does LaZe have the preparation? And I'm pretty sure LaZe do expect ORGLESS to pick into this map, right? It's a map that they are pretty strong on. They've only lost it once, so I do expect Styron and crew to have something prepped up for that. In terms of agent compositions wise, I don't think we're going to see anything too special. They both run the exact same composition with the Cypher as well as the Yoru and Jet. So a lot of interesting Yoru plays might be coming on stage. And of course, that head-to-head between the two Yorus, Dizzy as well as Zan. But let's take a quick recap at the map Beatles and how we ended up here on Breeze. It was a 13-7 scoreline on Lotus. And of course, going in the way of ORGLESS.
I think it's going to be really exciting. I mean, ORGLESS picking this map is honestly interesting because it's such a large map, 2-side, large map, a big mid area. So the idea of how ORGLESS used to play this is more of like how they can just quickly get those picks. It's a lot of that halls control, but I'm already sort of expecting to see either Styron and maybe even Zan just fight for the host halls controls, number 1. Number 2, we are going to be seeing a lot of those, I would say, those plays where we have a very explosive sort of entry coming through as well as we go into this map, especially from ORGLESS side. I mean, again, when you look at ORGLESS, how they play defense, it was very aggressive. They had like a set play, especially toward A side, where you have Dizzy flashing and Vera coming through, especially when he has those blades. It's just massive. But I wouldn't be surprised if LaZe is ready with a counterplay for this particular strat that ORGLESS had brought to the table in the previous time they were fighting on Breeze.
I like the point that you pointed out for halls as well. I think that is a portion of the map that is still relatively underutilized. Some teams, kind of forgot that Riot removed the barrier, and and you can just creep up there. It's not the easiest to hold, especially because Cypher's utility is so much more needed on the side itself. Now you have Yorus evading your tripwires. You have Jets that's gonna expect it on the ground, so they're updrafting as well. So those trips are very, very crucial, and a lot of teams don't really like to just waste one towards that Hall's position. So it's an interesting dynamic to say the least, and we're gonna have to see how these two teams want to counterplay against each other. But some interesting stats that I also want to bring up is that ORGLESS won out every single round on their defensive half. They did not drop a single defensive round on the defenses ORGLESS. So that is something I also want to put under the microscope. Can LaZe find attacking rounds on this map? Same agent composition as we expected. They're going to dive straight into game. And yeah, ORGLESS starting on this attacking side as they did previously. Going to be an interesting battle to say the least.
Expecting a lot of lurks coming through here from ORGLESS. It's up to LaZe to really figure out what they want to do to stop it from happening. I mean, halls can really make it or break it. It's either you give halls and risk your entire CT area to be compromised and get backstabbed, or you can have one person hold halls but lose out on firepower in the front lines. So that's going to be very interesting. How are you going to be countering that? They have a Cypher. If your chips get broken, how fast can you rotate toward the area? You have the information, but how far in have they gone? Or did they actually give up the space and go to a different site? It's also going to be a problem in itself. Whether or not this is going to be a LaZe's map and bring it to a 1-1 is going to be the question that we have right now as we go into the second map between ORGLESS and LaZe. Grand Finals, Malaysia, Singapore Challengers.
All right, instant slow play coming in. Looks like it's just going to be a full-on execute. The darts are in, the dash is prepped, and so is the TP. Full-on execute into this B site.
Gorgeously done. A beautiful entry to come through. Flarings and one each. And Spray also answers. Off that trip, he's getting a lot of value. Flaring found out, tapped in the hit. Spike dropped. As Frey plays his corner bend, still has to find Redco. Where exactly is he? They know exactly where he is. Pistols taken as LaZe take the first point.
Brilliantly done right there. They only lose one player on the execute as well. LaZe, their protocols in place, got those tripwires for information and for any potential kills if they were being tripped. And that fast rotate coming in from LaZe was sublime. You can see on this map right now, this is a new wall that more teams have been incorporating. You see this Viper wall towards the B site. They actually invest the wall there alongside the Cypher because the B side can actually be pretty easily executed on with the Yoru and the Jet. So eyes are on that portion of the map, that wall. We'll see if it comes in to play a bit more value later on in the game. But for now, just going to be an eco round. ORGLESS, just classics in tow. Divine picking up this Outlaw, just watching down these long sidelines. Meanwhile, Redco's actually making his presence known quite across the map, but that's all the ruse. Divine here drops down a bunch of utility, and they're entering the
beautifully
site.
Done! Nice pick there by Divine. Styron for 2 with that Guardian. Dizzy gets tagged. Immediately in the bag. Redco solo again. Final person left standing. Redco has just been trying to go in for those lurks, but hasn't been really getting those time because his teammates get chunked down so very quickly. Right? Another one in tow as well. Beautiful, clean round, only losing one gun.
He's just Frey just jumping, bunny hopping down mid. The knife in hand.
He was just a distraction.
And he still got the kill in the end. It's kind of funny, but hey, second round, clean as you like. That's exactly what you want from if you're, I mean, of course, if you're LaZe, that's exactly what you would like. Clean one, only losing one player. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. You have the Outlaw as well. And now it's going to be in the hands of Kenji. And again, gonna be the B-side execute, but look at the heavy stack. So many of the LaZe players on this bonus round of theirs stacking towards this B-side. Viper Cypher as well as the Jet. Kenji looking down the long barrel of his gun as the execute again comes in quick and fast.
Those trips are just such a menace, honestly, because they're just trying to go for these protocols to break those, but just so not happening. It's Frey for 2. Kenji
One
with the
enemy
ghost
remaining.
gets 1. Firing does trade. Zan gonna find a good hold of his own. The collapse has been
no access.
massive. Redco picks one off. The end. Clean round 3. No bonus. They won it though.
Yeah, that was crazy coming in from LaZe. What a brilliant read. And that is the Cypher power, right? That is the power of those trips being on the site when you have more than one player assisting the Cypher as well. That is just a recipe for disaster. The Viper Orb, the Poison Orb coming up. There's just no way for you to get in. Once your duelist goes down, once Kenji went down, Zan a little bit, or not Zan, sorry. Once Vera and Dizzy went in and they couldn't find success, the rest of the team just kind of, you know, trickled into the side basically through the Viper smoke, and it was easy pickings for LaZe. Now again, Grumble with the only sniper in their hands, and Kenji just gonna lay down the law.
Outlaw.
Easy.
Honestly,
Redco?
disgusting if you think about it. Good hold here. They hear the footsteps. Divine moves away. Kenji, despite being so low, he's just gonna quickly just reposition himself. Door open. Immediately, Redco taps. It's one in the head. A lot of value from the Sheriff. As mentioned just now in Lotus. Dizzy positions himself around Pyramid's plant. Comes through. Kenji not able to go for the second one. Dizzy trades out. But the neural theft immediately spots him out. But have to be quick with this for that reposition. Zen finds an opening. A flash to come through. Immediately finds Frey. And the dimensional drift opens up. Finds the other 2 members. They go for that defuse. Zen sticking it. Already have.
Enemy
Styron's
remaining.
already open. Dizzy immediately finds Styron. And they win the 3 around. ORGLESS bring it back. No bonus, no problem.
Okay, yeah, we lose the anti-bonus, we win the thrifty. Easy, right? From ORGLESS. That was crazy coming in. They were both 1 HP as well. But Dizzy popping that dimensional drift just allowed him to reposition and cause chaos. The last 2 remaining players of LaZe were stuck in that little tight corner with a 180-degree turn. That was a tough thing to break apart. And they almost got the defuse stuck. Can't fault it there, but still, LaZe, they had a lot of money to work with anyway. They got the guns. They didn't need Kenji with the op in tow. Vera, his own, creeping down mid, and that's information, right? That is ORGLESS slowly creeping up this mid position. The Owl drone heard from the defense being expired, so that is the cue for Grumble to use his, re-clearing the area that they just lost. And that is easy mid control. Garner Redco showing his presence. That's all he needs to do. As long as he lives, as long as he breathes, LaZe is going to be super cautious. You can see Styron already creeping over towards halls, just checking out. Where did Redco go? Is he still there? Information passed across as well. ORGLESS now reconvening. I think Vera work. What can he find? This little sliver angle. Divine actually got to cross that angle, but Vera dropping down already. Redco joining back with this team. You can see as the round ticks on, look at where Styron is playing. He's so concerned of a Redco lurk. The players are just huddled up within their side. They've lost control over every part of the map. And here comes the execute into the B side. 2 players here to defend.
This is honestly so very exciting and so very quick. Both jets are going to be trading off. Regardless, here comes the other side. Flaring finds one more. As Frey goes down, the trips are completely gone from the side. Now it's just so easily and just going to be so quick for them to hold. Vera up. Beautiful shot onto Styron. Lays around. Moves quickly to the backside, watching Archers very carefully. Taking up so much space on his own. His left side completely open. Unworried. He's placed toward the half wall. Gonna come through. Here's his footsteps. Zan spotted out. Upshot warning. Let's get immediately flashed out as Grumble finds Divine. Just about finding one more player. Zan, a jump shot from Vera with the classic. Come on now. That's too much.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to punish Vera for those crazy plays. Well, he's just going to style on you, right? Once you get that confidence going for Vera, he can be a difficult opponent to take down, and a much-needed timeout being called for by the side of LaZe. They haven't had this kind of adversity up against ORGLESS on this side of the map, right? The defense has been solid the previous time they played, but now losing 2 rounds in a row, they want to pull things back. Down on a low buy. This time around, Zan won off the dimensional drift. How fast Kenji? No, Kenji has the Blade Storm as well, so they can consider maybe purchasing up a little bit around this Blade Storm. It is an option. We know how good Kenji is, but it's got to take a little bit more than just Kenji, right? You got to need 1 or 2 more players to step up to the plate this eco round. Maybe a stack, maybe a bit of aggro towards B main. Could be something, closer range angles. The Sheriff, get 1 tap at that range as well. Options available for LaZe, but ORGLESS sitting pretty. Got a couple of ultimates they can work along with as well. Viper's Pit in the hands of Flaring. Cypher ultimate, Neural Theft available for Redco if he manages to find a little bit of a lurk, maybe find a kill. He can play it slow, use that ultimate to find information, and look at the stack coming in from LaZe. As expected, they are gonna place their chips towards this side of the map. A side is the name of the game. Double duelists are here, getting ready to siege this attack.
Immediately Blades opened up. No push-outs quite yet. They do take out the entirety of the space onto A main, but not spotting out anyone there quite yet. They're just really gonna immediately give away that space. You already see the fast rotations coming in as well from A site. The walls come through. It's gonna be very explosive as ORGLESS preps themselves to get through. Immediately gonna try and break that. The Sova, the protocols come up forward. Vera immediately with the right clicks. Dizzy was so quick to find him. Vera quick for 1 more. Regardless, entirety of this area already tunnels.
Spike
Full
planted.
control. Kenji into the site, using the cloud burst as well. Blades out, gets tagged out by the drone, but it doesn't really matter. But his teammates are there just to really swing out. Vera holding this very tight angle. It's very tight that corner. Grumble the other end, really spots him out. Unfortunately whiffs, immediately tags the other player. A very quick round, honestly, if you think about it. It's gonna be a 3-3. The equalizer to come through. It's been very back and forth for this map.
Yeah, that round, I think ORGLESS had a bit of a whiff, a bit of a suspicion that the stack was towards the A side. So
Honestly, it's very interesting as well how exactly... Sorry about that.
Oh,
I think we had a bit of a technical issue. There we go, we're back. Now, I think I just really want to say that for ORGLESS getting onto the site, Grumble will always do the same dart toward the left side just to make sure to kill any trips on that end. But that's not happening quite yet as we go into round number 7. Regardless, as we come through, we already see the mid-side area. Vera will be playing with this op. Immediately, 1 player tagged out here, Dizzy. Has to back off, give up that space. And Redco once again taking up so much space, just walking up the entirety of halls with no one stopping him.
we'll just get a little bit of information. Again, similar scenes as we saw the previous gun round, right? Just using the drone to clear out outside of mid. And Styron, yeah, without the trip in halls. Oh, actually, no, there is the adaptation. Now there is the trip that they're afraid of Redco, abusing the fact that that part of the map is not really contested on the LaZe side. They might just call in for an A execute. 3 players of the LaZe team are here to receive, though. Expecting this Kenji with the op, watching down the A main position. Redco can open the door and put a little bit of pressure as the execute comes in. All not committed just yet. On the side of Flaring. Gets the hit. The knives as well. The updraft is perfectly done. But Kenji somehow picks upon that. Redco's there to assist as well. And Dizzy just mops up shot. Perfect execute comes in. A retake has to be called for. Last 2 players coming in pretty late.
Spike planted.
Honestly, so very dead. He knew exactly which one was a clone and which one was Zan. Frey left on his backside. Dizzy holding down his teammate. That's exactly what it is. Frey wins out that aim duel. Redco plays out the entirety of hall, spots out no one. Now the other 2 members coming in from main, coming in from backside, knows exactly where Frey is. His timing has to be good here. Divine has to be able to get into double doors quickly. Quickly, Grumble just sprays him down. That's the last member on double doors. Nice tap, excuse me. Onto Flaring, I think Divine would rather go for exit frags as it plays out toward the A site to see if anyone will be crossing through, but that's not happening as everyone just quickly pings toward going to the defender side. It's a nice quick round for ORGLESS one more time.
Yeah, that Divine needed to save that, right? Look at that money. It's in a horrible spot, but let's take a look at this.
30 seconds
Execute
left.
again. Kenji. What a flick. Expecting that. Hurt the updraft as well. And then Dizzy capitalizing off of that, actually able to swarm the site. Thanks to Ritko, honestly. Opening that door actually caused a little bit of chaos within the site. Yeah, now four rounds in a row for ORGLESS. It's a little bit of a throwback towards the first map, right? LaZe getting to a solid start. ORGLESS coming back as the reads come through. It's a free A site for the taking. Nobody playing within it. They are so hyper-focused towards that Halls position. Dimensional Drift going to be coming through, but there's nobody here to receive at all. Dizzy getting all of this map control in his back pocket and passing that info over to his teammates.
Planted.
As LaZe slowly but surely have to come in for this retake. Money not looking in the best position as well. You got Stingers, you got Judges. Not the best for a retake scenario.
Regardless, Styron, Aldrin out, knows exactly where the jet is going to Vera. Got out a lump, but it's going to take it all the way to the left side. There's two there. Kenji on tap forward.
Oh.
Vera with a pre-fire. He really takes him out. The sprays come through. Vera quick onto that with his Divine. Dizzy for 2 and Vera with 3. It's a very clean round, very quick as well. I have to say that round was just played to perfection. Despite the tags, you know exactly where everyone is. The collapse coming in from ORGLESS have been very massive. Not really being able to figure out which one is the right Yoru has been a problem. Because they popped the Yoru, which means it's going to go for that flash. And as soon as the flash gets popped, immediately everyone collapses onto the other members. And immediately it's just bad news from LaZe, which gives another round to ORGLESS.
Did you see Dizzy's reaction as well? He's
He was
shouting and
laughing.
screaming in the cam. Oh my god, he's so hyped. And for good reason. 5 rounds now on the board. Another slow approach from the ORGLESS side. Zan and Ritko. This head-to-head in the halls. Who's going to come out on top? Zan has gotten in a pretty solid position, but I think Ritko is going to be expecting it as well. So that's an interesting fight to keep tabs on, right? Later on in the round, maybe coming back to be an important factor.
And no one's peeking. They know exactly the reads here. They know exactly how everyone's playing. Now it's I would say it's a very passive round from LaZe. Less aggressive than before. Chips are already there as well. Styron moves out of the way, which means the footsteps may have already been noted. Spots out that cam, immediately sprays out into the cage. So that means this time around, Redco only going to be able to get half. And Zed still holding down. Redco was not expecting that at all. Immediately, Chips tries to be broken with that shock dart.
Dizzy.
As Dizzy quickly makes his way down to double doors. Now this time around, he's playing alone. Timing might be on his side. Up to come through. Zed avoids that, but Dizzy wins out against Kenji. And really gonna go for that teleport. Decoy as well, just to really make sure that he can try and
30
bait
seconds
out
left.
these other members to the other side. But the other members of ORGLESS are just not eating. Sorry, the other members of LaZe are not eating that bait. Just right behind that door here is Vera. Beautiful shot out to Frey. Nice hold onto the top side. Zan was ready for it. A teleport onto the site. Zan immediately blowing the other member and mentions area of that. And immediately Hunter's Fear just to delay more time. 7 seconds to go.
We have to stick, we have to
As fast to come
stick.
through. They have to go and stick it. Grumble finds one. But the
No
stick comes
time.
with no time at all. And now LaZe has delayed it. But at least the consolation prize is going to be the plant money.
Styron with the Hunter's Fury at the very last second of that round. And I think it was Zan as well. They barely had enough time to plant, but Zan instantly used his gate crash into the site, sacrificing his life, causing the spike planter to get off that spike plant. And as a result, they win by virtue of time. Styron, the last man standing, but still a round in their favor. 4 rounds now for LaZe, as that was a much needed one. That money would have been horrible otherwise. Now, Divine having that Judge and the Viper's Pit, going to be using it towards that B side, and that allows a heavy rotation for the LaZe players to lean towards this A side. Going to be an A execute yet again for ORGLESS. Drone and clone in, dash straight into the side.
Kenji pushes out, immediately finds one. He goes straight for that as well. Doesn't matter for the flash.
Again?
And he goes in for a second.
What?
Kenji unpunished, but finally does go down. Viper's Pit dropped down as well. Flaring, holding out, double swing with his teammates. Styron finds one. Quick trade. No idea where Zan is. Coming out, timing not on his side. Regardless of that, Zan pushing forward to the game. Undeterred, he goes for 2. two. These multi-frags have been massive. And LaZe answers back, equalizing the score.
That was a crazy round coming in from Kenji. What the hell was that? He peeks in. Okay, he has a dash for the first one. That's fine. But he goes in for second dippings. Look at this. Spots out the second player. Drops the smoke. Has nothing to escape. He just commits to it.
Player standing.
What an insane hole coming in from the Jet. From the newest addition to the LaZe squad. And he's putting up numbers 9-8, topping the scoreboard for his team. Leading by example. 5-5 the scoreline now as they again siege towards his mid position, but Zan is creeping up towards mid. A flash comes through. Vera beautifully executes him. Siren here for the trade though, but that is information. They want to pivot. They want to head towards the A site.
Quick move onto A site. I think they know exactly where Kenji is and need the teleport as well. Now they have no clue where Zan has been. Kenji playing with that, but Styron does go down. Vera's sprays have been disgusting to say the least. As immediately the dimensional drift opened up once again. This time will be from Dizzy. Vera already with 3, playing off so much information that Dizzy has been given. Vera knows exactly where Divide is. Top for the backside, a 4. Could we be seeing a second ace for this series potentially? This is the question. A jump onto the top side quickly. Immediately will be tagged out. There's Reiko. We'll take that. And Vera is very unhappy with that deal. A quick round regardless, and that is the beautiful play that I have to say from ORGLESS on how exactly they utilize the dimensional drift from Dizzy and how it enables Vera. 12-7 is a statement play to say the least.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with what Kenji did the previous round. He's gonna show that he is the better Jet in the server. Thanks to an ace right there. And yeah, as you mentioned, that pivot on the mid side of the map, they expect someone from LaZe to be aggressive. They pop flash through. Vera found that frag onto Zan being aggressive down mid. And that was just a slow unraveling of the defense of LaZe. And this time around, so far back, so patient and so disciplined as ORGLESS. They see aggression towards mid. That has been noted for. What is the pivot? What is the answer? Slow play again from ORGLESS. They know that they've lost mid control. Waiting for further aggression. They have Halls, right? You have Grumble there towards Halls waiting. Kenji here. Trying to find a little bit of success. His dash has been burnt at the very least. And it's just mainly Kenji and that Vandal on Styron. Vera, contact play up with the AWP. He's the only one here though. This is
the shorty play!
What a prediction!
He knows exactly where Zan was.
Get out of my way.
Beautifully done. Now Redco,
What a read!
full control of elbow. Holding down the area. Making sure that no one is going to be there. Immediately just going to try and just go straight onto the site. Decoy will be the first one to go through. Unfortunately, Vera was not able to land that shot. Frey tagged out on the other end. But the only thing that he tagged out was actually the clone. The cage comes through as well to deny them that push onto the site as well. Dizzy immediately going onto the site, but Grumble will punish Kenji for that aggression. They spot one out, 2 at Archers as well. Dizzy beautifully done. Almost a 360 pivot.
Tash, did you notice none of them went towards the left side of the map?
No, they didn't.
Left side of the site.
They just isolated it.
They knew it was a low buy. They knew they did not want to run into stingers. They didn't want to run into shotguns. Off the back of this, look at where all of the pathing is. They all went towards the right side. They killed the rotators before even taking down the anchors of the site. What a read from Ritko. Mastermind in play. Dizzy screaming for the hills. What a display. LaZe dumbfounded. What a beautiful round coming in from every single player on ORGLESS. The read from Vera to shotgun that close corner. The adaptations to avoid the close range guns and take the long range fights. Mastermind at play.
That is just gorgeous, honestly. And if you notice that that Flaring is not a type to really put down his walls very early. And this time around, Pulse will be where Kenji wants to play for pistols. Immediately just taking out the entirety of Hull's side. Not too sure. There's nobody here. I'm not sure if they're aware of this at all. They're opening the door immediately. And A side is completely free for the taking over our double doors. 2 is there. They're just going to give up that space. Just play a little bit more back. Retakes have been beautiful from ORGLESS. They're just very adept. Very quick with it. And the plant goes through. Going to be a slow one for this retake. Think about it.
Flank.
Look at 3 people within these flanks. All alone will be Styra plays his corner very well. And guess what? Not able to go for 2. His long-range plays have been spectacular. Grumble, one for himself. And so topside, it's going to be Frey. They were not expecting death from above. Splary for double doors. Sharp. So very low. Low HP. The backside, Kenji still wins it against Redco. And Frey comes up from the other side. Despite the masterclass of retakes, the whole from LaZe has been a little bit more stronger, giving the 6 point to LaZe.
Yeah, I mean, what a walk down from Tube by Kenji. A read by the ORGLESS playstyle, perhaps. ORGLESS being very aggressive. They pushed down B, they pushed down mid, they cleared out the entire mid and B portion of the map. But the problem was no one was accounting for that player towards halls. Kenji single-handedly opens the door and clears the entire side. And from that point on, ORGLESS had so much room to cover, so many areas to watch for. And yeah, we saw the double kill from Frey. Not expecting that angle. No information. That's what you're gonna get. Styron with a nice kill. Dizzy answers back with the classic all the way towards what? A main. They push down there, but yeah, just gotta pick up the spike. They gotta go back towards this A main position. Perhaps push back the defenders just a bit.
Oh, Dizzy's position has been compromised here. He's actually stuck. He can't actually teleport back. Can't move either. Oh, wait, he just teleported. Regardless, gonna go straight toward his teammates. He's quite low if you think about it. But no movement yet from ORGLESS. They have to really make sure where exactly is going to be the hit that they want to go for.
Ooh, the read is wrong. The gamble's wrong.
The gamble is wrong. They are going to quickly rotate toward B side. It's going to be another free site for LaZe, regardless, coming through. I have no clue that the rotation has happened. Look at where Frey is already full control of halls as well, which means that those mid rotators are going to be in trouble if they were to rotate here from the CT side. Now, Plant, gone down. The other 4 members all the way on the wrong side, if you think about it. I don't think they know quite yet. Now they do.
Now they do.
A quick rotation come out. Frey hasn't moved quite yet, making sure no one will be coming into the halls. Making sure that at least bridge side will not be compromised quite yet.
Time to jump.
A slow walk towards CT side. They have no clue how much space has been taken. Frey holding. Dizzy speaks through a jump. Just releasing his live cage. A best put out there. He does get tagged. A jump shot forward, and Frey still gets him in the middle of that. They're still trying to just really find him out, but the right click from Redco takes Frey out. And quickly, Kenji and Zan answers through. The door open, gives a lot of space and information for them. Crumble, can he do this hero play? It's going to be very tough. It's a 1 versus 3. Kenji already leaving out the site. They know it's going to be a go down to at least the spike here. They need the money for that loss streak. And this time around, another win on the side. And LaZe catches back. And it's been very back and forth on this particular map.
Yeah, I think if anyone were to tell you that this was going to be the scoreline, this is going to be the type of fight, if they didn't watch, right? If they didn't keep up with LaZe, they keep up with ORGLESS. You saw the first time they fought in the upper finals, it was what, 13-4, 13-5. It was a LaZe domination. But now ORGLESS coming in with the revitalized spirit. 2 rounds now, garnered by LaZe. Brings it back to a tight scoreline. Bonus round coming in from LaZe. What do they have in store on this attacking side? With the Outlaw, which can pack a punch, but not gonna be a one-shot kill. Everyone on the side of ORGLESS has full armor. I say that, but Grumble, only player with half armor. And control being garnered over by LaZe. This is great work. Great work on the bonus. So now they've essentially gotten this huge portion of the map under their control. They can choose to execute on either side. And you can see B side looking a little bit weak. If question marks towards that Hall's position, ORGLESS has to invest at least 1 or 2 players. Watch that. LaZe still hoping and looking for an over-eager defender, perhaps peeking out more than they should. There's a lack of info, regardless for ORGLESS, right? They have no idea what's going on in mid. The best they have is Dizzy watching at this incredibly far back angle. No idea whatsoever. In the meantime, Zan has crept up halls as well.
Now, entirety of halls in their control. Huge if he wants to go for those flanks, for those lurks. Flaring, holding. I think he probably already knows there's going to be 1 inside of halls. Quickly, they're just going to try to rotate onto the side. Redco quick onto Kenji. And now it's Grumble coming in from the other side. This time around, Redco on the top side still wins it. He knows there's 1 more inside of the smokes. Goes in for the right click. Will not be punished. Yes, he does. Eventually, Saran picks up 2. Equalizer coming out. Vera, final man left alive. The situation is 1v2. Vera, we've seen it happen before. A teleport quick reposition with his teammate. And this time around, Styron playing off-site. Vera, quickly but surely, trying to make his way onto the site itself. Goes for a spam, knows there's no one playing, at least at the half wall. And this situation goes in. Suspects someone will be toward the tunnel side. Goes for tap. No information given quite yet. Immediately gets tapped by Styron. And now LaZe comes back. 8 points on the board. ORGLESS, what are they going to do? Because that was a very massive round for them. If you think about it, in this situation, it was a good round as well. With Zan getting the full control of halls and a sort of a sandwich to come through, it was almost very hard to counter this because despite ORGLESS being able to have a good hold, they have no clue where the other members of LaZe was going to be.
I mean, Redco did so much, right? He got like, what, 3 kills on the site? But unfortunately, just not enough. LaZe, the heroics, thanks to the lurk from Zan as well. That is something that we mentioned in the pre-game, I guess, segment, right? Halls is a huge portion of the map, very important. It is just a small sliver of land, but it can play very influential in these rounds, as we just witnessed right there. Zan finding so much crucial impact and space. This time around, ORGLESS, as a result of losing that round, down on a low by flaring, just a stinger, plus sheriffs, grumble on that Marshall.
I have the spike.
Slow push again. That's information for ORGLESS. At the very least, Dizzy is down towards that mid position. They know that no one's there for the time being, as well as Redco pushing down towards that elbow. It's most likely going to be an A commit, and yes, it is.
Immediately, Vera from one end with this, the classic 2 headshots straight to Kenji, takes him out. He splash, doesn't give away space, flaring on one end. That's immediately gonna get punished by that Redco. That sheriff is doing a lot of work. And now Dizzy on one end. Styron all alone, gonna try and swing out here. Not able to go for even one more. A thrifty round for ORGLESS. Clean one on that. 3 upgrades at the very least as well. Back and forth. And they finally get 1 point in this situation after 3 in a row going to LaZe. And now the timeout comes out from LaZe. They have to figure it out. They haven't figured out the answer quite yet on how exactly these picks are coming through. Now for Vera, you really gotta give it to Vera as well because of how they're playing. They're not afraid to push out of the smokes and they're not punished for it. It happened too many times.
So this is the exact same thing that happened in the first half. LaZe win the first 2 rounds, they win the bonus, and then ORGLESS thrifties them in the 4th round. Same thing happened in the first half. ORGLESS, I don't know, just have an affinity for that 4th round thrifty, but that was a perfect read coming in from them, right? You saw how far up Redco was towards that elbow position. You saw how deep Dizzy was as well towards mid. And they could stack 3 players on that A side. And the clone actually getting a bunch of value from the side of ORGLESS. Actually absorbed quite a bit of bullets, I think, in that exchange. Yeah, flaring with that stinger up close packs a punch. And as a result, Vera gets his op early. Can use this in this round. Full buy coming in from the side of ORGLESS. LaZe, though, because they won out their bonus, they still have a little bit of cash that they can invest to this round. But it's not going to be everything they would like, right? A couple of half shields in the mix. Couple of great ultimates on the side for Styron as well. You have that Hunter's Fury. Can use it in a post-plant situation or for an execute.
It's going to be really exciting because they put 2 duelists toward the mid side. Zan is going to go on for that aggressive sort of push toward mid side. Yeah, and that's massive.
This is in a crazy spot, right? Behind that little box towards mid. And then you have Vera just watching across from that A doors position. Just getting the orb though. Feigning that they have run away. At least they love to take this mid position. Vera, eyes trained like a hawk. Surely he gets the first one, right?
He's still holding, just waiting for that. Look at that. He's just crosshair repositioning, ready for that.
They don't have any util to flush him out. That's
they really don't, and I don't think they know he's there either. It's just it's a matter of like trying to figure out where exactly Vera is gonna be. Vera has been all around the map, and now they're gonna be swinging out here. Might be a Colette. Nope. No Colette. No picks as well. As immediately just gonna rush out of the way. But Zan no longer there. The information has been given. Now Zan as well as Redco immediately just gonna move out to the mid-side area. And look at Redco, quick reposition toward elbow, just holding that slowly,
seconds left.
moving upwards. I don't think they know he's
the
going to be pushing out there.
timing?
Yeah, timing is huge from Redco. He started out strong. Vera gets one more with the op as well. Two, and now he can go for three. Does his teammate already pushing out on the other end? A very aggressive comp and is working out in their favor. They know exactly where Dizzy is going to be. There's a lot of value from Redco with that tag from the spy cam, and it's going to be a flawless round for them. And despite the full buys for the team, a flawless round, and this is just so unlucky from LaZe. They can't take full control of mid. They can't take full control of elbow. How exactly are they going to go for this execute?
Yeah, Redco's positioning again. He got all the info despite there not really being anyone in the site to defend. There was just so much reinforcements coming in. Vera with two beautiful shots with the op. And we always see Dizzy just screaming his heart out in the player cam. I love to see that.
My God,
and again,
Vera! Beautiful
Vera.
opening. He's going for more. A little bit too greedy. Gets away with his life. Very well done.
that's a
was
fantastic start. That was a beautiful start to kick things off. And now what does LaZe have? Again, another opening pick given to ORGLESS by Vera. The drone will reveal that they are still towards the mid position. 2 or 3 players noted for. Vera still
And they're still going to go fight
searching
for
for
it.
more.
They have to smoke them out. They have no space at all. Now, Divine, execute. Pops in wall up. And immediately gets tagged.
Oh.
Dizzy just not got out of that alive, but he does take down his life low enough for at least go for that whip. Dead in the corner, sprayed out, flaring, quick onto that. Immediately moving away and spots out Frey, punishes him for being out there in the open. Divine quick on the attacks. Divine playing this corner very well. They do note his positioning. Nice high-low. Oh, let's grumble. Strafe. They take away that point. Round 18, belonging to Org. But it's been such a back and forth. Wouldn't be surprised if LaZe has another answer for the next round.
Yeah, these rounds, these matches so far. I know we're only in the second map, but it's been incredible to see the playbook and the play style of these two teams clashing at the highest level. Take a look at the replay right here. This shot right here. 2 taps, Dizzy out of the round. Solo hold, solo anchor. But still, flaring, being a nuisance. He's bought so much time. By the time they wanted to commit, the wall that went down. Grumble's there for the assist as well. A lot of ultimates for both sides to work with. Hunter's Fury, Blade Storm, Dimensional Drift for both. Viper's Pit,
Oh, this is
one
the
away
best.
for flarings.
This is the best.
Full on A exit.
It's going to be a full A exact. It's going to be a very, very aggressive one. Dimensional Drift already popped, and immediately flaring, moving out of the way. He notes the positioning of Zan. He knows he's going to be very, very close by. Immediately, the clone comes out. He knows exactly where he is. Takes him out. Not before Zan does get one for himself. Knows exactly one on the right side. Dizzy still waiting for his team to go into. Alert from mid side as Kenji goes straight inside of the smokes. The decay not doing any favors. But Dizzy still wins it out in the end. Dizzy, unpunished. Kenji also plays that corner very well. Kenji for 3, finds Redco. And now it's all about finding the snake in the pit. Flaring's all alone, but it's not his pit. Is it his world? Can he make it to be? Time. Not on his side as Kenji coming very, very close. Timing, 1 HP left. Playing out the area. Hears out the footsteps. Can he go for this at 6 frags? Not gonna be happening. But Styron might get him in the end. He's gonna go down to Spike as ORGLESS get another one on the round. And I feel like I have to say I apologize. I jinxed that round with my comment earlier. My bad. My bad, guys.
All good. LaZe won it. So, yeah, it was a brilliant execute straight into the site off the back of the Dimensional Drift. And look at Kenji in this position.
That's nasty.
Crazy.
I love
Here's
that
the
position.
drone. He hears the drone and he just peeks out.
Yes,
Knows that there's maximum 1 player there, right?
He isolates that very well. It's a very quick isolate too.
Poor Grumble and his drone. Couldn't really do much about it.
Hey! He did,
was
he
just
did some work. Just
unlucky
give
for him, you know.
give him a little bit of credit, man.
I am. It's just unlucky for Grumble because he
Yeah.
couldn't really do anything
Yeah.
in the situation.
Yeah. Such back and forth between these two teams. It's just, it feels like it's just reading and out-reading each other. It takes 3 rounds or so, game of momentum.
2 players at the back of the B side. That's more than enough. Redco as well as Grumble. The IGL and the Prodigy. Expecting this B hit to come through, and here it is. Into the side, here we go. Kenji tagged out. It doesn't even matter. Grumble just running a gun. He gets 2 kills. And alongside Redco, the tag team duo, the defenders on the B side. But Divine has something to say about this. Redco tries, he might, but he cannot connect the spray. But Vera is here. His position being spot out. Neural Theft reveals him. Classic in hand, up close range. Combat opping. The spike not yet down though. The defenders slowly swarming back in. Dizzy alongside the flash,
Wait, the
as
flash.
well as the jumping. Oh, a bit
early.
awkward.
A bit early.
Divine.
So unlucky.
Fair trade.
It's Dizzy. Final person left alive. Tap. Out.
I love it, Dizzy. Dizzy always screaming, always laughing. I love that energy coming in from ORGLESS. And look at this. The defense, immaculate. So much work by Grumble and Redco.
That's
The delay.
unlucky. Look at that. You can see that's now the very unlucky moment when the flash comes through. Like, you know that Vera wanted to go in, but that was the delay in that flash. If that was executed better, I think it would have been a pick for Vera. But because of that mistake, it really costed them the entire round, which is just, honestly, again, unlucky.
Well, they still won the round, so all good, right?
All good, all good.
They had the man advantage regardless. Dizzy's sharp on his aim. And it's such a scary prospect. When Dizzy is firing on all cylinders, he's second to none as a duelist, second to none in his aim. It's amazing to see. And LaZe, well, they need to bite down hard right now. 9-11, they give up this round, they give up match point, they're down on an eco for the next. It all rides on this one. Siren, the Hunter's Fury, droning in for Kenji and the Blade Storm. It's dual bust, double trips on the side as well. Not gonna be easy, and he trips it. Stuck in the open. Thankfully, it's broken though. Hunter's really not gonna connect anyone. No, I say that, but it catches up to Redco. Kenji's here. Kenji's living and breathing in this round, but the smoke drops, and there's so many defenders just watching them. It's a 3v3 retake coming in. Smoke comes up. He drops down as well. Phrase then. So is Vera though. And it's just one player standing. Siren in the clutch. Yet again, isolates that duel. It's a 5 HP clutch. If he can manage to do so. Around the corner, Grumble answers back. Slightly more HP and a sharp shot as well. 12 now found for ORGLESS.
We can end it now. Once more.
Like you mentioned just now, this is not going to be the best round for LaZe. Half shields.
Yeah, money is it's awkward.
Half
Look at that
shields,
half
Bulldog.
shields.
Yeah, it's a broken
No
bag.
ults to use.
Yep.
Flaring has his pit as well. We could just add insult to injury, just plop it down and be your A main, and there's nothing they could do. Vera bringing out the op yet again. Ever since the second round, or at least, sorry, the second half has started, Vera has been getting that op almost every single round.
Yep, there we
Making
go.
a lot of value.
There's the pit coming forward. Orb as well, just deny some entry onto A site. A site's complete no-go at this point unless he can take full to a Paul, so it's going to be tough.
Ooh.
2 members already holding on the other side. Tap out there, Grumble notes the positioning and immediately moves out of the way. And on top of that, B is going to be another problem in itself. Trips all around the site, 2 players onto that. Flaring, not leaving at all. Styron moves in front of it.
It's a base split. They want to isolate Flaring. They want to surround him.
And then the decoy comes out, teleporting onto the side. Zan punished. Dizzy was so quick on that. Full control of Halls. Now playing onto the side. Flaring does go down eventually as Dizzy noting out the positioning with the rift. And now Vera immediately finds Styron. Dizzy quick to find Kenji. And now it's all about finding Divine. Dizzy is sharp on this. Frey finds him, tags him out, and Vera! Final op shot. Nail in the coffin. 2 maps on the board. 1 more to go. And LaZe. Can this next map be their lifeline, their momentum for a reverse sweep moving forward for the grand finals?
Well, LaZe might need to pull off that reverse sweep if they want to re-establish themselves on that throne. ORGLESS have been looking stellar. Dizzy's looking sharp. Vera, you know, continuing that form from the first map as well. What a display coming up for ORGLESS. That breeze was beautiful to watch. It was just a pull and push of beautiful, you know, Valorant right there. It's great shooting. It's great calling from Redco, and the abuse of Halls as well. That is a portion of the map that we highlighted in the pre-game, and it came into fruition. Both teams try as they might, but I feel like ORGLESS just had the better reads, had the better game plan and strategies coming in. It was beautiful to watch.
Honestly, it was really exciting to watch that particular game. I think ORGLESS just knew how exactly just not only isolate fights, but also it came down to those aim duels. You saw some really quick ones as well, those taps to the head. Vera had a very massive game on top of that. He was very quick on not only the ops, but also the repositions as well. It's just really, really hard to really figure out where exactly Vera was going to be. Now, coming back into these highlights, I just have a lot to say. Now, Zan wasn't really the guy you have to look out for when it comes to those frags. Zan was merely, 1, a distraction, 2, just out there to really figure out where everyone was going to be. And on top of that, the use of utilities have been impeccable, especially from ORGLESS. How they know where exactly to put all those utilities, how to react on those utilities. Yes, there are a lot of situations where we saw Red Coast strips were immediately taken out very, very quick, very, very fast. But the thing is, regardless, they have their protocols coming forward on attack side, at least for ORGLESS. They knew where to drop those shock downs to make sure there's no trips. They know how far or how much they can challenge in for space before they have to go back. They're not playing this high risk, high reward game, and they're okay to give away space. They like to play safe. They like to play with their utilities and enable each other, which really allowed not only for Vera but also but also Grumble and even Dizzy to really shine in this particular map.
Yeah, it's a beautiful symphony so far. They were really, really adaptive. They love taking that mid control. ORGLESS always going to find that information, finding those duels. And even on the defensive side, right? Even on the this round was beautiful. I think it really encapsulates the understanding of how to play this map. It's a very unconventional approach towards taking this B side, but they do it with style. Now swapping over to that defensive side for ORGLESS. Yeah, Bray had a good start. So did LaZe. 3 rounds, they won the bonus. Guys, LaZe won out both pistols and the bonus, and they still lost the map. That is actually impressive from ORGLESS.
Yeah, I think it's all about ORGLESS just trying to figure out patterns. And I think ORGLESS has always been that type of team, you know? They'd lose out on a few of those crucial rounds in the beginning, but once they have already gotten speed, I've already gotten the information, they've already understood how those patterns are going to be, it's really hard to readjust against them. I think ORGLESS has some insane mid-round adjustments, to say the least.
Yes.
How that they are able to just pivot and just say, okay, this plan is not working. What's our plan B? Okay, we found this. We found this player at mid side. How exactly are we going to be pivoting off this? How are we going to be fighting off this pit? They have all their tacticals in place, and because of that, because they love playing this tag team against each other, because they like to play off each other's information and utility, it gives them a lot of value. In a lot of situations, yes, there are those isolated fights, but it's always going to be traded out. So ORGLESS looking very good on these 2 maps, at least on 2 big maps, Lotus and Breeze. As we go into Bind for the next map, the question is, can they do the same? Because it is a smaller map without a mid area to take control.
Yeah, a lot of questions in the camp for LaZe. And well, they need an answer. They need an answer soon, because ORGLESS, I don't think anyone would have expected this, right? 2-0 in the series so far. Let's take a look at the match stats right here. 12 first kills for LaZe, but still unable to convert those into round wins. I think we saw a similar pattern on Lotus as well. LaZe were getting those opening kills. They have more opening kills than ORGLESS, but the rounds do not, indicate that. They do not reflect that. 2 thrifties though, that is huge for the ORGLESS side. Those came in clutch, notably both on the 4th round of the first and second half respectively. And right here, MVPs of both squads. Vera taking that top spot. Of course it is him. He has found so much impact with the op, it's crazy. He's been avoiding, he's been so fast. We saw him pick towards A, saw him pick towards mid, from the sniper's nest as well as mid doors. Always flexible, always rotating, and keeping LaZe guessing away. Could be 5 first bloods, 23 kills, 296 ACS. And of course, this is all facilitated thanks to his team. We always see Dizzy or Grumble next to him, right? Flashing for him, droning for him, giving him an angle to hold. It's always a team effort for ORGLESS, and you can see here, when Vera is comfortable, when he has the support, he pops off like that.
Honestly, I think this map has been spectacular from both sides. But ORGLESS, I just have to say, I mean, the Yoru Jet combo that they have is just so terrifying if you think about it. And I have to say that I think ORGLESS was the first team to bring this particular strat into play for MYSG. And we start to see other teams start to try and copy them as well, try to bring the same strat in to see how it's going to be working out. But it didn't really pan out the same as what we were expecting to see from ORGLESS, because the same play that we saw from a few days ago was not used, because they understand that a lot of other teams were already expecting that. How exactly are we going to be adjusting this sort of play? We can play with the same roster, with the same comp, but how exactly are we going to be adjusting this to make it work in our favor? And this situation with having Dizzy just move around, Dizzy move around. Yeah, Dizzy was spectacular, not only in terms of giving information and giving space, but also the fact that he's playing these very high-risk games, just really pushing out. And on top of that, when it comes down to the the fundamentals, the raw aim duels, Dizzy was sharp. We saw so many times how Dizzy just pushed out a Viper, the toxic screen, and still managed to get a pick and was not punished for it. In fact, he went in for double dips as well, which is honestly almost unheard of in this situation. Dizzy, this particular season, I think from 2 years ago, has the potential. We've seen the potential, but this year has been extra refined. I think this team looks really good on him, and it looks very massive for ORGLESS. Now, the question now remains here is, how exactly is LaZe going to be taking this back? Because when we talk about, yes, Bind will be bombastic, but it will be spectacular. It's a map that it's very, very, I would say, very, very spectacular, or very rewarding to teams that play very aggressive, very explosive, like LaZe. So what is ORGLESS' answer for this?
You're bang on the head right there. That was exactly how Bind actually panned out the previous time that they played. Right, LaZe won 13-4 on that map. They were very aggressive, very disruptive, and they caused ORGLESS a lot of trouble. So, that was just that one map a couple of days ago, but it's their best opportunity and their final chance to bring it back in this series. In this grand finals, LaZe, their final lifeline. Have to see how that pans out on map number 3. We'll be back in just a little bit. still, his utility has been so good. Oh, a great volley. Frey flushed out, connects, double headshot, readjusts his aim. Draco trades him out, but Frey surely gets both of them.
Just insane stuff.
Oh my god, no way!
Oh, all the utility being used by Harbor, but let's get Splash. Go! This man is not stopping. Oh my goodness.
They might think it's clear. Juicy dodges Dizzy, finds a brilliant shot onto Splash. Small little gap, and he makes the most out of it. Kaka goes down as well. Blind overshot. Just 4 more kills to go. Around the corner, Juicy finds the first, so does Riza. The judge in tow, and it's all for DSG.
Gonna be coming in for the side of DSG, trying to get control of spawn, and Dizzy's able to hold it out. All 3 players towards hell. What can you do at this point? Jumps down, he finds one, he knows there's one more. Can he win after shot? But the third comes out. Wayne and Wayne
Calling for a little bit of backup, but they've lost Ben's control. Riza's here. Riza lights the ball up. Individual brilliance coming up from DSG through the smoke.
God.
It was an ace in the
One
previous,
more ace.
and it's an ace in this one as well. It dictates a lot of your rotations. They have to win this out, and it's not going to be the case yet again. It's a key controller out of the mix. Showstopper, they're going straight in. Smokes her up. Rico ahead of things, finds the first. Some dreams will be made and some will be crushed right here today. It's 2-0 up for ORGLESS in the grand finals of VCT MYSG. My name's Colton, joining me is Tash. We're here from map number 3. It's gotta be Bind, it's gotta be a banger. And from the trajectory that we've been seeing, ORGLESS is on a hot tear, but LaZe, they've gotta step it up here. They go home bust.
We had a excuse me. We had a bit of a chat in the pre-show just now about what we can expect from ORGLESS on Bind. Now, for LaZe, this is their map. Their very, very explosive map. Not only are they very explosive, they're very aggressive. This type of map really just, how do I say this? Really just rewards teams that play that way. I'm not too sure what exactly ORGLESS has found out. Again, ORGLESS does take some time, take 3 to 5 rounds to really figure out patterns and then figure out a way to take or retake a map. But now coming into this particular map with only a 66 and 50% win rate on attack and defensive side, it's a very 50-50 for them. And it's very different toward LaZe, who are a little bit more proficient on the defense side compared to attack side. Actually, no, I lied. Take it back. I'm taking it back. Attack side and defense side are also very 50-50 for them. But because it's so bombastic from the side of LaZe, their takes are a little bit more aggressive. By the time they burst onto the side, they already had the other team had lost maybe 2 or 3 players by that time. Maybe perhaps they only have 1 player on the side, and they had already taken up so much space all the way to the backside, all the way to CT as well, if they are playing attack. On defense, they're very aggressive. They disallow anyone to get onto the side itself. So if anyone were to play attackers against them, they will be playing with a man advantage. So my question is, how does ORGLESS plan on countering this side of play? Because now, defense side will be picked by LaZe first. Now, because I'm kind of surprised with this, because usually if a team picks a Bind, the other team would pick a defense first, because defense is the stronger round, or the stronger side rather, for this map. Why do you think that ORGLESS allowed them to go there, to go on attack first? I mean, to go on defense first. My bad. Sorry.
Right. So I think that ORGLESS really want to set the tone for this attacking side. They don't want to let LaZe get too comfortable in their playstyle. And if I'm looking at the previous matchup, right, their attacking side to be fair, their both attacking and defensive sides weren't really that great for the side of ORGLESS, but I do believe that with the comp that they're gonna bring, which is the double controller with the double duelist, the Raze as well as the Yoru, it can lean a little bit more aggressive, right? You want to set up Vera for that success, and it was not a good showing in the previous map of playing Bind, but we actually have the map pools, or at least the game percentages for each of these teams.
100% win rate for Bind.
3 times.
That's terrifying. I think it was against ORGLESS was what, 13-4? And then after that, 13-8, 13-9 with Ender. So it is very terrifying. But the last time they played was against ORGLESS for upper finals. It was 13-4. I think I talked about this to you. I said to you that was actually kind of disappointing watching that map from ORGLESS' side. But at the same time, you really got to give all that credit to LaZe as well. A bombastic team takes for bombastic takes for this attack side as well, which is why possibly they picked defense side first, because they know how exactly they to play as aggressively on attack side as well. Now coming into ORGLESS' side, I mean, I feel like ORGLESS is the type of team that yes, they would take very heavy losses in their first rodeo against a team, but it's hard to win against them twice, because when you have a team that's as, I would say, surgical as ORGLESS, a team that is always taking notes, always learning, it's going to be very terrifying. And I'm wondering, from that 13-4, what did ORGLESS learn from that heavy loss?
Well, first of all, I think they need to mentally reset, right? It was a loss. Their team was not looking too great. To be fair, Ridco did have a pretty solid game on that map. Unfortunately, his team was just not able to go alongside him. And something interesting is that because LaZe don't really play that map too often, there's not a lot of VODs to go off of it. You don't have all the information that you would want. But now that they've got the rep in, now that you've got the rep in though, at least they have a little bit of VODs that they can review, that they can analyze on how LaZe to play. You can see from the compositions that LaZe like to run, they like to run that Astra as well as the Yoru. And I'm pretty sure you watched it, Tash. It was the Team Heretics match in Madrid, where they also ran Astra as well as the Yoru, and they combined those two ultimates, the Cosmic Divide as well as the Dimensional Drift. So you basically use the Cosmic Divide, cut off a small section of the site, leave a little bit of a cubby, right, for the Yoru to ult, or at least exit the ult behind the wall. The defenders on the site don't hear a thing. You flash out of it, or you just peek out of it. They have no information whatsoever. And that was something that LaZe actually did in their game up against ORGLESS. It was not the exact same strat, but it was a similar thing that, if I'm not mistaken, Zen, made the most out of it, where he, exited out behind the Cosmic Divide and then just got 2 kills off the back of that. And it's those kind of small little pocket strats, right, that ORGLESS needs to analyze and understand how to play this map. It's going to be important. They're going to be starting out on the attacking side, and it's going to be a tough battle. It's not going to be easy. LaZe, when their backs are up against the wall, they are known to bite back. They are resilient as ever. And with their double duelist, Kenji and Zen going on their Raze and Yoru respectively, it's going to be a barn burner of a third map. And speaking about barn burners, I think something that's really a hot topic nowadays is that, Tash, you do have the, shall I say, infinite power. You have a kind of ability that some people might consider to be, a jinx, perhaps. So before we get the third map started, Tash,
don't do this to me!
I want to ask for you for your predictions of this map.
No! Oh man.
What do you think? Come on, let your analytical brain
Chatter's
whir.
gonna go crazy. Okay. I'm gonna be very diplomatic. I'm gonna be very diplomatic and honest about this.
All right.
Okay. So I think LaZe will have the early advantage. I think it's gonna be very, very aggressive. I think ORGLESS is gonna be struggling to find an answer for a little while. But once they do, momentum will be on ORGLESS' side, and I don't want to say anything because now we're in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Now is the time for you to set your sights onto your screens. Whether or not this will be a 3-0 or a 2-1, whether or not this will be a comeback map from LaZe, or whether or not ORGLESS will bring us to a map 5 eventually is going to be the question, because this map is pivotal for LaZe.
Well, I guess if you mention all of the possible outcomes, then technically you aren't jinxing it, right? If you mention all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get things started. Attack side for the ORGLESS squad. Patient as ever. We know that they like to play things slow, but so does LaZe. It's a 4-man stack towards this A short position. A crazy setup off the back of contact, perhaps. A pounce with the nade. Kenji lining that up. Zen up close and personal, but ORGLESS don't see any contact, so just keep away. as a trip towards that hookah position, but it's just gonna be Styron alone on this B side up against 5. Jiggling around the corner, haunt in hand. That's all he's gonna get though. No other utilities to boot.
You know what they say, right, about Styron? Once the man bun comes out, but he's gonna go crazy. And he didn't bring this man bun back until playoffs happened as Vera bursts onto the side. Immediately Styron answers here to teleport, and DZ will be the opener. Now this time around, Redco jump shot, his teammate is there, at least for that trade. Rumble in this corner will be punished. And you know what, go for 2, why not? LaZe going aggressive, retakes a flank in fact. And that is how they waterfall straight from hookah onto the side. Good take, but the retakes are better.
I need to find out the pistol win rate of LaZe because it's looking disgusting so far. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so they won 3. They won 3 out of the 4 pistols in this series so far. Make that 5 after the one that we just witnessed. So it's 5 pistols to 1.
Okay.
Sorry, 4 pistols to 1. My math is not math.
LaZe is the team that has this insane stats when it comes to pistols. I mean, it happened just now in the last 2 maps as well. Why not, right? I mean, you did mention that before. So let's just say that ORGLESS just not as great on pistols as LaZe. Nothing wrong with that. Redco holding. In the sights here as Redco wins it out. Upgrade in hand. Beautifully done. Immediately just gonna try and just zone anyone out from the other side. Sprays through. Divine still wins on the end. Zan, one more for himself. Divine, undeterred, pushes that smoke. Now this time around, silence. Cut off the noise as the other members of ORGLESS just trying to figure out where exactly they're gonna be. They hear the flash to come through, and they have to make sure that no one is there. They had already been flanked on round number 1. They don't want it to be happening again. Dizzy finds Divine. Very close forward. Let's get punished by Zan. 2. Not the worst round in the world, but LaZe losing 2 guns.
I don't care if there are 5 of them.
Yeah, at least they prevent the spike from being planted, right? ORGLESS, they didn't get that down. It was a nice attempt from Redco to lurk all the way towards U-Haul, get that classic kill. But unfortunately, due to how the A side is, constructed, LaZe were very, very confident in playing disruptive, prevented the spike from being planted, and yeah, ORGLESS not gonna get that extra bit of cash, but regardless, they still should bring in all that they would need, your rifles in hand, your full armor in tow, and it's just gonna be a bonus for LaZe. 2 pistols on the side of LaZe as well, so not the strongest of bonuses, of course, that allows them to have a stronger buy in the Knicks, but ORGLESS should be able to win down this one. And they gotta make sure that things don't happen similar to Breeze, where ORGLESS lost out both of their anti-bonuses.
Flash come through. No movement quite yet. Immediately sees to come through as well, but Vera swings out. Flash come out. Immediately he gives up the way. That smoke gives him a lot of space, but then the swing out has a little bit of space inside. But his job has already been done. Eliminating one of those big guns is massive. Redco holding down hookah, making sure no one is there. Trip is there as well, so Redco getting in there is going to be a problem in itself. And I think he's already very aware of it, Frey. Is he going to peek is the question, not quite. He's distracted. Already playing toward the top side of hookah. He plays on their side, immediately just blinded forward. Frey smoked off out of the way. His camera ticking out. And now the other members just running straight onto the side. The rotations coming in from LaZe are a little bit slow. LaZe coming forward, Redco holding on, smart, making sure that no one will be able to go in during that rotation for that flank. Learning very quickly from round number 1. Divine spotted, Rumble holding still, playing very, very close, understanding that he's going to be able to go for his peaks. A high-low, clean round once again. ORGLESS take this round. LaZe not able to convert the bonus.
Tash, did you see where Frey was playing, right? He was the only man towards the B side, and yet he was the last to die. All of his teammates going in for the retake fell before he did. ORGLESS did a perfect job of isolating the anchor, wrapping around him. And of course, this opening kill, thanks to Vera being proactive. Trades here, pretty solid so far for both of the sides, but this is where Redco likes to cook in the mid-rounds. Finds that flank coming in. They catch the player at CT, and then Frey, he had his util all set up, but nothing to write home about. And bonus, not going to be yielding out too much. So thankfully, ORGLESS win out the anti-bonus of theirs. a gun round for both of these teams. Divine, having that Cosmic Divide might be useful. Keep an eye out on that. Zan, one off his ult as well. Again, ORGLESS, with this slow creep up approach, they push towards hookah, they push towards long, they feign a little bit of presence, but that tripwire, as you can see in that hookah position, will give LaZe a little bit of advanced information. It allows 3 of the players of LaZe to still stack here towards this A site. Not active control though, just jiggling the corner of the shower's position as ORGLESS slowly making their way towards that exact position. Kenji, gotta be careful that he doesn't jiggle too wide.
Vera spots it out immediately. He just jiggled straight into Vera's crosshair. Vera moving forward, the right side. So sure someone is going to be very close, but yeah, does not get taken out. He leaves the dimensional rift, just gives all the information. Vera just reacts off of it. A free gun to come forward as well. Throws out the pain shots just to buy some more time. DZ knows exactly where the other members are. The dimensional rift will be punished. Was not able to teleport quickly in time. Siren for 2 sprays out the top side here from Haven. Now, holding C's to clear the corner. No one there by bench. Rumble still playing it very safe at triple. Teammate not able to come close. Frey does get spotted out. Now one thumbs out. Tap by Frey. Quick on that. Very, very quickly. Still has to be very wary about another 2 players. Red Coat.
It's not none for them.
Very, very none. They don't know where they are. Just down the 2. The vulnerable comes out as well. Beautifully done. The set play to come through. A little bit too close of comfort. I was getting a heart attack, and so were you, Colden. You can't hide to me. You can't lie to me. Excuse me.
No, I definitely was getting a little bit anxious because it was not planned out. Thankfully, Redco had that little lineup of his, and the spam came through. Dealt a little bit more damage than it otherwise would have, and a much needed timeout. I think I'm no body expert, but I'm seeing the expressions on the LaZe members, and it's getting a little bit desperate. Those rounds, well, albeit just the anti-bonus and the one next, this is what could be their last map in this entire tournament, in this grand finals. Styron calling the timeout here to reevaluate the options. You got the dimensional drift, you got the cosmic divide. You can use those in unison, as we mentioned on the desk earlier on the pre-game. Those 2 ultimates work hand in hand with each other. You can exit the ult without making noise if you're behind the wall, and just won't be able to hear it, but not going to be easy. Kenji still on that goose egg. Hopefully can get him up and running. Yeah, ORGLESS looking real clean so far. Grumble with the Seekers. Show stop and hands of Vera. Those 2 ultimates, perfect for an A or B execute. Different options. But again, ORGLESS are just going to go back to that slow play style. No need to change what has been working. So keep at it. Redco's been calling an impressive series so far.
I mean, that's what I meant, right? About Redco. About the net Redco.
Yeah, he is.
About ORGLESS. It's hard
better
to
and better.
Exactly. It's hard for them to lose twice. Learning from mistakes is very pivotal for them.
That's it, no? Right. Learning from your mistakes. That's exactly what you would need to have if you're gonna be a championship caliber team. Not to say LaZe haven't learned, but LaZe definitely are aggressive this round. Look at Zed all the way on the flank as well. It could be disruptive. Redco has got to be wary. They don't have a sentinel, so there's no flank watch. He's got to be there himself, providing the cover fire. 4 men towards the shower's position. Execute straight within the site.
Oh, that's very quick. Seekers out, and it's just chaos right now on the site. Styron taps. Vera taken out. And now, immediately, Kenji moving around the side, plays that smoke just really cleared out. Zan coming on the flank side, knows exactly going to be one there. He really gets taken down. Tap forward, doesn't able to get down, but thankfully Flary gets 1. Kenji trades back. Kenji for 2 already, and so does Dizzy. Game of trades from both sides, 2 on 2, and now the other members of ORGLESS have to give out the site. They cannot keep going for this. But look at that, already 1 member. It's going to be Styron already running and skedaddling straight onto B side. He's all alone, very separated from Divine. Divine still holding, but now they know a flash to come through. Styron holding. Immediately goes for the anti-flash. They don't know he's inside of the tube. 14 seconds to go. All they have to do is just buy time. Zap out. Dizzy quickly repositions himself, throws off that crosshair, and they're going to be able to play this post-plant situation. A quick teleport as well to play with his teammate. Can just quickly play for main, making sure no one is flanking. Divine has no clue where to see, where to look. He does have that. Whether or not he's actually going to expand that is going to be the question, because it's still going to be very risky, and I think he might be doing it. Immediately, he puts out a star, immediately goes inside of the smoke, goes for a tap, defuse, he sticks it, immediately jumps through here, a jump shot forward, and ORGLESS playing very, very slowly. And I think again, despite that cosmic divide, he knows it's a little bit too risky. He would rather use it on a round where they are sure to secure the round and can get a lot of value from it.
It's always a risky play if you want to use that ult. I've seen one too many ults where you basically ult the spike. It's in a corner, so you can form like a right angle triangle with the ult and then just hide within it, and they can't really shoot you unless they try to knife. And it could get very interesting. And low-key, I kind of wanted to see it, but of course, ORGLESS playing it nice and disciplined. They peek in together, the jump peek from Grumble, strafing within the smoke. That was perfectly done. Zed picking up that op of his. It's going to be parked towards that showers position as ORGLESS experiment and wander towards this B side. The trip has been slightly changed up from the hooker position, so it's now a bit more execute oriented. Let's see if there's gonna be any differences though. Styron's being ahead of the curve, trying to find out information. The Prowler will detect one player, so flaring has been noted outside. There's no trips within the site itself though from Long. Styron's in a world of trouble.
A showstopper come through, immediately clears out everyone on the site. But now LaZe forced to play retakes this time. Dizzy with the dimensional drift. I'm making sure that no one is already inside of elbow. Really comes through. But it is very interesting, no? How far back the other members of LaZe are playing. This is very different to their usual playstyle, but the idea is they wanted to play very, very patient. And immediately Nightfall goes down. Frey holding. Immediately, what is that swing? Grumble finds him immediately. So does Vera. They weren't sure how many is over there on their side. Zan spots out one. Immediately misses one. Is it up in hand? Dizzy punishes him immediately. Immediately he goes. Spots out one. Divine trades. And now it's a 1 versus 1. Divine. Half HP left. Redco holding in from hookah.
Wow.
I think he did manage to see him so at the very end. He wasn't able to react of it. There's just too many rounds in a row now. ORGLESS just running away with this. And LaZe still hasn't found out the answer for this aggressive style play from ORGLESS. And isn't it very reminiscent of what LaZe brings to the table itself on attack side?
ORGLESS, they knew that LaZe were going for that retake setup, right? You could see all the ultimates in Toya, the Nightfall, the Showstopper, the Dimensional Drift, and ORGLESS play ahead of it. They play aggressive, they push elbow, they push into CT. They make sure that things do not go easy for the side of LaZe. And ORGLESS down to a 1 versus 1, but Redco's positioning in that clutch was really sublime. They go aggressive. Kenji's pushing in, but Redco reads it like
That's aggressive.
He's just hiding in that corner. They expected aggression and they find it as such. A free opening kill, now give it over. And now LaZe scrambling, going for individual pushes. Frey's on the backline, picks up an op.
Oh,
but
Frey in
Grumble's
trouble. There we go, gets picked up. Grumble.
Thankfully.
We talked about this aggression to come through, and ORGLESS was very smart on this. They knew that it was going to be an eco. So what can we expect for eco from LaZe? Aggression.
Aggression.
And they punished them for it. Beautifully well done. They got picked off. They lose Vera. Not the worst thing in the world. They do still have Dizzy if they want to go for those entries. Slowly but surely, they have another 51 seconds left. Time still very much there. But with 2 on the site, it's going to be rough. Immediately, his Trailblazer is out. Broken up here, but the answer comes through. Dizzy, quick on that. Moves away from the gravity well. And now slowly, just pushes onto the side. Zan trying to go for his picks. Plus one out, tags it out, and immediately the double swing forward. There's only one more person to worry about, and it's going to be Divine. What can he do with only a Sheriff it's in hand? And it's going to be hard. Coming in from
He's been in 2 clutches already, and really difficult situation. Picks up the op, so at the very least, he's got a little bit of a weapon to bring over into the next round, but it's going to be a save. It's been ORGLESS ever since the empty bonus. LaZe only picking up those first 2 rounds thanks to the pistol. And it's really getting out of hand. ORGLESS, these reads have been sublime. Redco has been calling a game of his life right now. And what seemed like, one of the most...
Not too sure what happened there, but I think Holden has gone offline.
Might I remind...
Oh, he's back. There we go.
I was wondering.
He's gone again. Apologies about that. Internet problems are our end. That is the downside of casting from home. Now coming onto this side, I think ORGLESS is very, very comfortable right now. But LaZe, though, with 5 rounds in a row lost, what do you think they have to do, Colden? Guess he's not quite back quite yet. So, LaZe with 2 ultimates in the bag right now. The Cosmic Divide still hasn't been used by Divine. Frey does have the Neural Theft. The Neural Theft can give a lot of value. But in a lot of situations, I need to figure out whether or not ORGLESS, how ORGLESS is going to be playing around this Neural Theft. Flash come through and Vera, explosive as ever, disrespecting the cage with that gun, gets an upgrade at the same time. Frey didn't stand a chance, no Neural Theft from them, and Redco straight onto the side for that plant. Coming in forward, sprays coming through from Divine, and the pit also to drop down. Redco does get tagged, not enough to take him out. It's gonna be tough. Dizzy playing his corners very well, so good, and he flashes out. Kenji finds him in the end, but flaring is there at least for that trade. Zan, last member left standing, up in hand. What is he gonna do? Save the up or try at least go for those peaks? It's gonna be tough. Like he should have checked out to check these corners very, very closely. Exit frags perhaps is what he wants to go to. But that was explosive and something I was expecting from the side of LaZe and not ORGLESS.
I think I'm back as well, and I come back to just absolute domination. What was that? I honestly didn't get to see the round dash. What happened? How did they just get control of the A side?
Basically,
in such confident fashion?
Think of it this way. Bombastic, aggressive. Here's the replay for you.
All right, well,
that is a very aggressive take. How that runs forward with that judge come through. He disrespects that. And look at this angle, this corner played by them. Honestly, that was masterclass. These corners that they have set up. And I have to say, this has to be very intentional.
Although that corner there, that little gap.
It has to be.
No way that's intentional, right? That's way too much cooking. Personally, I don't think so, but hey, if they do, credit to them. That is insane from them. But that was a change up. They never did that. They never went for a full A rush. This time it's a full B hookah rush. Styron's blinded out. Nowhere to run. Nades out. Zan's here, but there's so much smoke and mirrors. Where do they go? Redco with the spam comes in. The satchel into the side. Flaring finds a beautiful frag. Dizzy's in on elbow as well. Kenji's still lurking around the side though. They're planting right in plain sight. But no, it's a fake.
Wait.
And they expect it.
Oh, that was so very smart. So well read.
Standing. Look at Dizzy cheering. They're so happy. And for good reason. 7 rounds in a row. 7 rounds in a row. ORGLESS. They change up the pace the last 2 rounds. Remember how slow they were playing?
Yeah.
Now, look, it's not even 1 minute and they're already winning the round. The round's already over in a minute. At the minute mark.
That's explosive. Remember what I said in the pre-show? It is a change of pace. Remember what I said in the pre-show just now? I was expecting this aggressive style plays, this bombastic plays to come through for LaZe. I was not expecting this from ORGLESS at all because we did not see that at all toward the beginning of the groups as well as the playoffs.
But that's when Redco's masterclass comes into session. When you least expect it, we rush A shot and then B shot back to back. And then what do we do after that? We play slow. Back to our default. That LaZe overthink, overcook, stew in their own confusion. 2 rounds only. First 2, that was all they have. Down on a low buy again. Vera opens up the round. That's a pick down on B long. Again, aggression, punish.
Wait, that's smoke. Punish!
Again, more aggression.
Immediately, he thought that he could actually get away with that. The quick taking away that smoke immediately teleports onto the site. Does buy time with the pain shells. Doesn't deter them. Immediately say, okay, we know there's at least more than 1, probably 3 onto this side. Let's immediately rush onto B because they already picked 1 off already on B side. Immediately, Styron wants to go for the tag. But look at the jump forward from Rumble as well as his teammate. Vera, still very aggressive, still very confident as well. He has a spike and immediately, what is going on? Are they going to an A? Flash come through. Dizzy comes forward.
Nerdy.
Wait, that is disgusting. That is a game of, I don't know, this just has insane mind plays. They didn't end up going to an A. They're towing.
Towing their food.
They thought that they were gonna rotate back, but immediately Kenji is there. Knives out,
Oh
jumping forward. There we go.
Oh no.
Giving that to Vera. They said, Vera, I'm sorry, we stole your ace just now, but what about kill instead?
Now they're confident. Now they're getting a little bit cocky. Now they're feeling themselves. This is ORGLESS at its best. What a brilliant, simple call. Nothing Red Coast calling is some ridiculous, crazy strat. Of course, there's set executes, but it's nothing
What do you mean?
out of the book. He's not reinventing the wheel. He's just making a damn good wheel that runs.
What no,
on
I
all
mean
four
is that
cylinders.
they were trying to go for a fake toward A. Runs
At
toward
that
B.
point, they were just messing around, right?
I know, I'm just
They were
playing. I'm just playing with you.
They're just flexing all over.
Oh, look at
Right.
that early trade. Very aggressive from both sides here. It's going to be back hit as Vera coming forward. Satchel forward. Here comes the showstopper as well.
Oh.
Emily sets his sights toward heaven. Now, starting on sight, Emily walks into that trap. Grumble will be the one to take the damage from that. Frey goes up forward, takes a lot of damage as it go down. Vera still holding the line. Swaps from the app, from the up to the gun. Patience forward. Kenji with that satchel and the spray come through. Potentially saving the round. A good start, but
Last
perhaps
round
that
before the
was the
switch.
overcook.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of overconfidence, right? The round that they were just playing around with. Right in the very next one, LaZe answer back. You cannot rest on your laurels. Right here, getting a little bit overconfident. You see a couple of these kills just given away to the LaZe side. Frey enjoying his time in heaven. Right here, beautiful satchel to just throw off the crosshair, and that gets him his showstopper. A couple of great ults. Look at that. 4 ults on LaZe's side. It's a crunch outside of the hookah position. Crosshair being drawn apart, but it's a re-aggress coming in, but they don't connect the shots. Siren with 2 kills right there. The
That
smoke
was
just to
messy.
disengage.
Very
win out those
messy.
fights.
Grumble alone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait,
Teleport. He knows
device stop.
exactly. They're both stuck. Goes away.
Oh my God.
What is that?
Now this
What?
is serenity. Switching sides.
What was that? Honestly, it did not look good
my-
for ORGLESS at all. They were at a man advantage. But he played that angle so perfectly.
I'm lost for words. What? That was it's insane. I've never seen it like that happen before. One player taking the teleporter. Obviously, you're gonna ask for a little bit of help. You're stuck in there. You can't get out. But the lineup?
That was just unlucky.
That was real unlucky, and ORGLESS cannot do any wrong. It's been working out beautifully. Divine
man.
intervention. We might need Divine's intervention if LaZe want this win. Not gonna be easy. Now is there a time to siege this attack? B-side execute. 3 players here. Redco on top of 2, showing why he's so confident.
Spike down.
Gets taken down though, but the trade is there. Oh, and the nade finds Kenji as well.
Look at that. Grumble
Grumble's
still
there.
is managing to go for
Enemy
1 as
remaining.
well. They're just going to immediately just push out toward hookah.
Oh
No space
my.
given. That
Oh
is
my.
already confidence. I've never seen this very aggressive play in a while now. Usually when
no.
you're playing defense, you just hold on to the side itself. But because they're so confident, they have the advantage. They're able to not only take a hookah, but already in the back as well. Because they know where exactly Frey was going to be playing.
And ORGLESS win the pistol. That was 9-3. Guys, LaZe have only put 1 gun round on the board. The other 2, thanks to the pistol in the second round, but surely you have to force this. No, they don't. They're gonna be playing up against 11. Surely, unless they can somehow pull off a miracle in this 50 round. It's only Zan with the Sheriff. Vera? Oh,
man,
it's more
Vera
than you could bargain
alone.
for.
Wait, they still win it in the end. 2 for 1, very worth it. Flaring still good at whistling out. Close for 4.
Flaring!
What is that set play? So beautifully done with that flash.
Just one paranoia. It catches
It
all
was
of
just
them.
one single one. They already knew where everyone was.
Oh no. If they got the spike clan, it would have been something, but look at this. The beautiful paranoia catches all of them, and flaring just lines up all up. 4 kills in the round. Get your ecos. And we got them fast because this map is nearing its end. 11-3. LaZe, the anti-bonus. They have the rifles. They need this round.
Oh, Dizzy. Almost there with that opening. Zan solo. Just takes a little bit of sneeze just to take him out, but...
This bonus is an op.
Yeah, this bonus is an op.
Spike down.
And look at that, Dizzy already just tapping. Tyron out. Initiator no longer there. Dizzy repositions himself. And everyone's just playing for holes this time. Zed does that a constellation prize there onto Grumble. Vera, beautifully done with that outlaw. ENG just trying to just clear them out. Frey has to move out of the way. Divide is so low. Still so beautiful with that shot. Backside. Smoked out here. They do still manage to get onto the site. Just trying to get that post-plant situation done. Redco clearing out the cubby. Finds that Trip. And Kenji still inside of two. Still 3 members away. They're not playing together. They're all so very isolated. Going out the other side. Tapping in one area. Kenji, sharp with that. Flaring down. Redco.
3, 2, 1.
Where does he want to look? No one is going to be peeking at this time. They're just holding. They're just trying to play off that information if he can.
Off the jump.
No choice but to play out here as Frey clears it out. LaZe gets another one on the board. And could this be the start of a momentum shift toward LaZe?
Well, LaZe better damn hope it is because ORGLESS, they're getting confident, right? An op purchase in the 3rd round is very daring. I like it though. It shows a lot of confidence and it's a spanner in the works. And it was pretty successful at the start. A good tag and a kill, but LaZe, they stabilize. They catch ORGLESS running around amok in the site. Perhaps a little bit too lackadaisical, but still an important round to win right here. Rico opting for that stinger of his. Not the best weapon. Has to take some reservations because of that op purchase, but it's going to be a B-side siege at the very beginning. Styron here up against Redco. The IGL v IGL battle towards this hookah position. Redco should gain control over it. He has that poison orb. Meanwhile, the rest of his team gaining control over Octagon.
Regardless, look at this kind of noise. Just to really keep ORGLESS guessing. They're not moving at all. Redco already straight inside hookah. Buys time. Frey opening. Finds Vera. You already have the neural theft as well, just to really give away all of their positioning. Grumble just spraying through the smokes, and now immediately you can hear the beeline straight toward the A site. But it's so very well read by ORGLESS. They've already rotated forward as well. Frey, full control at least for the front side of U-Haul. It's flaring. Pushing out forward. Pick on pick. A trade to come through. As the other member is going to be pushing out U-Haul. Not giving up space and... Oh, but the sprays! Despite the fact that he ate the damage. Still good for 2, but Zan nailed the coffin. Another one. The momentum shift is definitely here for LaZe.
Alright, 2 in a row. ORGLESS getting caught off guard by Frey's lurk. Frey got a crucial pick towards U-Haul, which caused them to rotate over, taking the teleporter from B-Long all the way to Showers. It was only left alone that U-Haul position. He was lucky to find one, but the trade frags from LaZe right there, they swarmed the U-Haul position. They made the retake really, really difficult for ORGLESS. And yeah, now just a hero bulldog in the hands of Flaring for this defensive eco round. Again, aggression is the name of the game, right? On low buys, they're pushing out through the smoke. Vera has gotten really deep in a really interesting position. He's behind a trip though, so he can't really cross that line in the sand. But that's information at the very least. They should know it's probably going to be a B commit. And Flaring takes a teleporter, paranoia's over, and commits towards this B site. That's interesting.
It is very interesting.
Because LaZe now knows that there's at least a slight overcommitment of players. A teleport from the... from the ticket from teleporter. Frey is a bit suspicious though.
Yeah, Frey probably knows there's someone here.
Oh, he doesn't check.
He does not check the area. The trip is still very much there. But immediately Vera still finds one. Breaks a trip. Gets a little upgrade as well. This is massive for him. Frey comes out. Timing not on his side. The upgrade probably just cancelled out. Kenji is so very low. Regardless, toward Bath here. Look at Redco here. The tap comes through. No value. Regardless, they already get a little bit of upgrade. They do have the dimensional drift as well if they want to use it.
Seconds left.
Frey playing it very safe. sprays come through, flaring with that bulldog, still making it work.
Whoa!
Dizzy,
Planted.
2 taps on the board. Massive. What looked like a hopeless eco suddenly turned in their side. Divine timing might be key,
No
but Dizzy
way.
comes up on top and they win it. They win this thrifty round, and on top of that, with upgraded guns as well. And ORGLESS going on to match point.
What was that from Dizzy? How?
Dizzy has been
How
sharp.
did he get that? How did he get that shot with the sheriff? That
Oh, did they have a
LaZe were
replay? I
confident.
would love to see that.
Hopefully he posts it on Twitter later or
There
something.
we go, that replay. Dizzy?
Oh, no,
Oh
unfortunately,
no,
we didn't get to see
that's not the one.
first
Okay,
two
we're gonna
kills.
have to hope. We're
We're
gonna have to hope
he's
that
recording
Dizzy
it because
post that later. That was insane.
no one was on the A side. Everyone was gone. Redco died. It was just those two versus, what, 2v4? That's crazy. And all the kills in Dizzy's favor, topping the scoreboard. You highlighted him at the start of this broadcast. You said that he is one of the key players for ORGLESS. And look at him now, leading the squad, doing so much damage. And arguably the emotional leader as well. We always see him cheering his team on, always shouting loud in the call, in the cam. Aggressive push, showstopper invested.
Oh,
It's a
look
trade,
at those
though.
trades! Massive! Kenji, this time around, with only a judge in hand, swaps out. Now, punish, Dizzy, flash comes through. Redco does play off it regardless. Buys more time. They do have the poison orb. Frey coming up forward there. Redco wins out that fight! And now flaring, don't allow it. Spots on
Is this it?
Divine. He's about to be the final man left standing. If Divine needs to pull off a miracle to make this happen, he's all alone. Spike not in his hands either.
Oh, it's
He's gonna have to try and
so
play in.
difficult.
It is difficult. Can feel the pressure for him as well. Slowly but surely making his way back onto A site. Knows there's at least 2 to the site itself. He hears the gunshots. Flash to come through. I think Flaring has him marked, holding down. Flaring knows exactly where he is. A quick reposition, a pivot from his teammates, a heal as well. Smokes out, not to allow him
Oh my.
to get to the spike as well. He has to pull off something. No utilities as well. It's gonna be very hard for him. He does spot a little bit of an angle he can play with. Cosmic Divide.
see.
He thinks about it.
seconds left.
Gonna put in a star at the very least. Perhaps a wormhole. Not
Defenders
happening.
win.
As ORGLESS go 3-0. Our new champions of Split 1. Challengers of Malaysia, Singapore.
Let's go,
And they bring
let's
this
go.
home.
Redco with his masterclass schools LaZe in the grand finals. And look at the expressions. I mean, absolutely devastated. And who could have predicted a 3-0? But from ORGLESS' side, LaZe, they took them down 2-0, 13-4, 13-5 in the upper finals. It looked like ORGLESS wasn't even in the server, but now today, they are the ones in domination. They are the ones that lift that crown. An impressive showing. Everybody on ORGLESS stepping up. And, you know, we mentioned this at the start, right? LaZe, all of the players can shoot, but ORGLESS, when all of the players are online, playing together, synergies on point, they can take down any team in this region.
Honestly, we were just talking about how ORGLESS's play on Bind was not the best. It was very disappointing to see the least.
It was not good the last time we saw it.
It was
good
not
at
great.
all.
But again, we talk about how ORGLESS is a team to readjust quick
Yes.
on their feet, and they know how exactly to circumvent the aggressive plays coming in from LaZe. It's just been very, very clean. They make Thrifties look very good. Dizzy with the multi-frags. On top of that, with the Sheriffs. Vera, big in huge openings, not afraid to disrespect and take up space. You have Redco just really quick to make sure that no one is flanking and making sure to catch people in those mid rotations. A team, ORGLESS today, we were just questioning 2 days ago about the 13 fours that came forward on the upper brackets. And now today, a 13-0 left everyone scratching their heads. What is going on? The amount of power they have. And eventually, all I can say is they did not show their hand too quickly, which gave them the win today. And unfortunately to say, the power of the Infinity Stones once again struck today. Zan, we can blame Zan for that. I'm sorry. Zan said he was going to give me a quick 3-0.
Oh no. Okay, I mean, regardless, you mentioned like that they didn't exactly reveal the hand, but I might even argue for the other, it being the other way around, right? They played a best of 5 yesterday. They didn't have the prep time. They didn't have that extra day to prepare all your strats in the grand finals. LaZe sitting comfortably. But ORGLESS, this has been a 6-map win streak from the lower finals and now in the grand finals. 3-0ing DSG, 3-0ing LaZe. That is not by chance. That is not luck. That is pure determination, pure skill, and pure teamwork.
I mean, let's be real here. There was a lot of conversation. Like everyone was saying how it was going to be LaZe on top this season. LaZe was going to win it all. But I think what everyone did not realize was that ORGLESS is definitely a team that takes some time to heat up. We saw this happen from part of the roster back when they were in X10. We saw this happen before in the previous rosters as well. They are a very analytical team. I think their bare minimum was just to qualify, and from there they learn from their mistakes and really learn and hide their strats toward the last moments possible. Yes, there were a little bit of rounds that were a little bit scrappy, but what really set them apart was not only the aim jewels, but also comes to that, I would say that, what's that word? The strats, the discipline as well. They are very, very sharp when it comes to playing off those utility.
Exactly. As you mentioned, it's very textbook stuff, but they do it so cleanly. And look at these kinds of aggressions, right? Small little pockets of aggression. Look at the smiles on their faces. Dizzy just shouting.
Wait, Dizzy is still shouting. What is he shouting? Can we have a mic check on that, please?
I don't know if it's allowed on broadcast, but hey, I love the energy regardless. 8 out of 8 post plants won by ORGLESS. And again, I mean, LaZe managing to find a lot of first kills, but it's the conversions, it's the round wins. ORGLESS, they powered through it. The teamwork in the late rounds, the mid to late rounds, that is what separated them today here against LaZe. The calling from Red Co was sublime. The teamwork, the fragging potential from Dizzy was on full display today. And I keep using this word, but it really is a masterclass. I mean, 3-0 in the lower finals and 3-0 in the grand finals. LaZe had both of the map bans. LaZe chose the exact 5 maps. It's crazy to see where they are.
Let's be real here. We talked about how this season, for all regions, including Madrid, it has been the lower bracket runs. Sentinels.
Yes.
We saw that happen.
G.
Yep, that's right. Gen G. The lower bracket runs is the name of the game. And it's happening here in Malaysia, Singapore as well. Don't know what it is that this lower bracket teams have. Perhaps it's momentum. Perhaps it's that determination to win. Perhaps it's that hunger for that rematch at the end.
Yes.
Regardless, Vera once again taking the MVP this time around. Well, at least for this one, in terms of how he plays. And I'm not surprised. Vera has been completely bombastic this particular match. And I think it's safe to say that it's very, very clean from him. Not only from Dizzy, but also for him in terms of how explosive they can be. This is just pure confidence run from the lower bracket all the way to the grand finals. ORGLESS, I think in the last match they played against LaZe, it didn't feel confident. It felt very, very slow. It felt like we were questioning, does ORGLESS have what it takes to take down LaZe? If this is the momentum, if this is the pacing they are going to be giving us, I think LaZe is just going to run away with the map. But today, it felt like LaZe did not have an answer for this new and improved team, this new and improved style of play. Vera, not flashing with maybe 30 kills or 20 or even above 20. But it's still enough to make that impact for the team, to take up space, to go for those multi-frags. And if you want to talk flashy, I think you won't see that from Vera. You'll see that from Dizzy.
Yeah, honestly, it's a team effort, right? We can highlight individual plays. All of them had their individual moments. Even flaring with that lineup kill towards showers. You get Vera running around with the AWP, Dizzy shouting in the camera and being the exact same on the server as well. It's amazing to watch. Yeah, ORGLESS, what a run. What a run. The resilience going down the lower brackets, up against adversity, losing in such a dominating fashion. I also want to give a shout out to their coach, Juvenile, that has probably been working tirelessly with the team behind the scenes to iron out their map pool, to iron out their strats. And these past few days, the past 2 days, we have seen ORGLESS at their full potential.
Dang, Coach Juvenile coming in clutch. I almost forgot about him. Clearly, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, technically,
shadows,
technically, ORGLESS has 2 coaches. Technically, if you want to go into specifics. Yeah. So, I mean, in a way, it is 2 heads are better than 1. Definitely cooking. I really do want to know. Like what exactly it is that happened behind the scene, what they learned to bring them this far ahead today. Because the games have been spectacularly quick from yesterday till today for ORGLESS. And I think for a long time, teams like ORGLESS, teams like have been really overshadowed by Bleed, especially last season. It felt like the team was just not giving way. Now with Bleed out of the picture, it gives a lot of space for ORGLESS, teams like ORGLESS to really shine, which shows their brilliance as well. And MYSG really showing me why this is one of the best mechanically skilled regions in the world.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how this landscape has grown, right? Ever since Bleed went over to ascend into the league, a lot of players might be thinking, okay, yeah, Bleed was so dominant, the region, what's going to be coming out of it? But we can see, I mean, right here in the grand finals, right here in this entire tournament, DSG, ORGLESS, LaZe, Nexa, so on and so forth, so many teams with so much potential. And right here, not a landslide, not one team just dominating everything. It's back and forth. And we actually have a interview, I think it's with the IGL of ORGLESS, the mastermind himself. Welcome, Rico. Congratulations, what an impressive feat. 3-0 in the lowers and 3-0 in the grand finals. How does it feel, man?
I think it's more of relief, honestly. Because when we lost to them in the upper finals, we were really pissed. Like, that was the first time I got angry at my team and we're like talking it through.
Oh.
We actually spent I think we spent a good 5 hours after that talking about what we went through, what mistakes we made, what we had to prepare against them, stuff like that. So everything paying off felt really, really nice to me. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about that particular match. It was a very landslide match, to say the least, for that particular day. So can you share with us what happened on that day?
I think it's because that was our first time playing that buying comp, because we actually changed it 2 days before. Because we realized that Yoru on the DZ was pretty good, but we didn't have enough time to prepare. So I guess it was just like our first time showing it, and we didn't really know how to group around that comp, We were playing it like we still had DZ on chamber, but in reality this is a Yoru. So we kind of switch it up, and then from that landslide score that you see in the upper finals becomes to this in the grand finals.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about you and your coach. So you're a coach yourself, and previously, I think when we watched you play, you were technically coaching your own team, but now you have your own coach for ORGLESS. So how did you happen to want to bring in a new coach to the team, and what's it like having 2 heads cooking up behind the scenes, yours and also Juvenile's?
Okay, so for all you viewers out there, all you guys see is us shooting guns, right? You see like the utils being thrown and stuff like that, right? But what you guys don't know is that without Juvenile, we'll probably not even make it to the playoffs. I'm going to be very honest. Juvenile is the reason that we qualified. Juvenile is the reason that we're improving. And he actually, because I am an experienced IGL myself, I feel, right? And Juvenile actually taught me so much that I could learn. And it felt like I was new to the game, It felt like he taught me like, this should be done this way. And I was listening and continuously. And so far in scrims, we see our improvement. I was like, holy, this guy is insane. And from there, he just helped like that. He just helped like the entire team, the morale. He gave a lot of us confidence in reality. Yes, he just gave us a lot of confidence to play the game.
Right, so let's talk a little bit about now that you've come up on top. I mean, obviously before there was a lot of I think I had a conversation with Legia about how he didn't want you to overtake him, and now Bleed has ascended, which means that you have all this space to come up on top. So now, what's it for you? What's it for ORGLESS here? I mean, yesterday you were saying here, please sign us. So did anyone come back to you on that with that?
Actually, we didn't really look at our DMs or anything. We were more focused on the game. Like I said, we've actually prepared as much as you guys don't see it, we actually prepared a lot of hours into this. Like even those tiny bits of how we move in the map, it's all based off the calling and stuff. So we actually prepared a lot. So we don't really care about the Ox part. But Legia wise, he did congratulate me. I saw the DM literally just. Me and him have this banter since last year's split. So I'm just happy that he did congratulate me, and I'm super stoked that we won. Oh my god!
All right, Colden, do you have any questions for him?
Yeah, I mean, okay, maybe just about Dizzy, because we've seen him pick up this Yoru. It's something that I think is pretty new to him. I haven't really seen him play Yoru before this year. And, maybe you could just give us a bit of insight on how you incorporate Dizzy on this new agent into this composition that you have in multiple maps. It's not just like Breeze, but even Bind, he's playing the agent and he plays it so well with you guys.
Okay, so backstory is that actually we were looking for a LaZe and ORGLESS, right? And I told Flaring to convince Dizzy to join us, because I said if Dizzy doesn't join, I don't see potential in the team. I would leave the team, and ORGLESS wouldn't even be here. So firstly,
Right.
Henry convinced him, and then my team was saying like Dizzy's a duelist player, but I knew him long ago in Act 1 where he was a Senti player. So we're like, if we could take Dizzy, we could play double duelist plus we could play Senti on him.
The flex.
Yeah, so we're thinking like, okay, we've been struggling on Breeze so much with the, the double initiator comp, the KO, Sova, and we're like, this doesn't work, man. Can we change it up? So we had to convince one person out there, especially Henry. Flaring was the one who did not want Yoru. And then we were like, Henry, just let him play Yoru, man. And then Dizzy tried it in one screamer, and then we're like, holy shit, this thing is good. So we just kept going on. And then from there, we started incorporating more on Dizzy Duelist. So like Split, you see Dizzy on Duelist. Bind, you see Dizzy on Yoru. So we started getting more ideas from that, and then we just worked together in dry runs to form the whole thing up. Yeah.
Wow. Honestly, what a good run from you guys. Love that to see. But anyways, now that, probably thousands of people have seen you play, you probably put your name out there. What do you want to say to all of them? Your new fans, per se.
I think just thank you for supporting us. I think it's been a rough journey for us. We've been changing rosters here and out. I think for those actually watching us play and actually supporting us, I really love you guys. Thank you so much. And also, thanks to the casters. I love you guys. Thank you to everyone in the production crew, especially everyone. Thank you.
Aww. I'm surprised Red Code is not being mean to me like he usually is. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Regardless, congratulations once again, Redco and also ORGLESS. Again, where's your paper? Please sign us. I think you should hold it up right now.
You can sign them, guys. Any orgs watching,
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Please.
There we go. There we
You're
go.
crazy. You'll be crazy if you don't sign this roster. I mean, look at what they've done. 6-0 in the past, basically two series. It's
Two
crazy.
series. All right, thank you so much for the
Congratulations,
interview.
man.
Congratulations once again. Go and celebrate. Bye, Greco. And there you have it, guys.
Amazing.
The conclusion. Wow, a 3-0. 3-0. From a 13-4, from 0-2-0-2, 13-4, 13-4, to a 3-0-3-0. What do you think, Golden? What do you think?
It's actually really interesting to hear that, he might have left the team. The team might not have existed if Henry Flaring didn't manage to convince Dizzy to come over from, I think it was Ender. He was on Ender for the first open qualifier. So what an outcome. I mean, what a trajectory that this roster has had. And they're slowly improving. You can see them, at the start, they lost to PDF in the open qualifiers. It was a bit of a shock. People were thinking, oh no, is ORGLESS, are they going to be the Kingslayers? Are they going to be that touted team that Redco can lead? No, loss after loss. They learned time and time again. As he mentioned, they spent hours cooking and learning behind the scenes, but it's impressive to see. Let's take a look at the brackets on how they even ended up in this position. For those who are wondering, it was that lower bracket run, taken down by LaZe 2-0 in the upper bracket finals, and then they sweep them in the grand finals. And congrats to them. They walk away with the first place, and of course, 40,000 ringgit as their first place prize.
Wow, 40,000 ringgit. And what a run it was, honestly. And I think this is possibly one of the most competitive seasons for Challengers MYSG, if you think about it. Because we had teams, I think from the beginning, we saw teams like Ninjas and Galaxy showing us some of the most impressive explosive plays. Nexka, I think out of all the teams, Nexka has shown us one of the biggest improvements we've seen thus far from all the teams, which honestly I was so surprised, because from the beginning I think a lot of people were not betting for Nexka to even make it to playoffs. But not only did they make it to playoffs, but they make it all the way almost to the end, and only losing out to DSG, and it was a very, very close match. having orgs, a big org like DSG in our region was also quite a big shocker for all of us. Usually we don't really have a lot of eyes onto our region. This is something very, very new for us as well. So it's very exciting times to be a fan here in MYSG. Want to thank everyone at home for spending time and watching with us, whether you're watching through a watch party or on the mainstream. We love having you guys here, and we see all of your memes.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see the landscape that we have developed. I think, mentioning the presence of DSG as well, hopefully that has drawn a little bit more eyes. Hopefully it's drawn a little bit more attention to the caliber of players. I posted a tweet yesterday saying that there was extreme expectations on DSG and a lot of underestimations on the players in the roster. You guys definitely need to stay tuned for split number 2. This has been us, MYSG 2024 for split 1, and we'll see you guys next time.
Free for me. Grenade!
Seconds left. One enemy remaining. Enemy remaining.
I think that's it. Deal with my call. Free for me. Satchel out.
Enemy remaining.
My eyes are down.
Enemy remaining.
Spotted out a lot of presence though.
Oh, contact break.
So one way, the contact off, and Reiko reads it perfectly.
Coming out. The B execution is on the way, and Disney hitting some nasty shots.
The lineup's coming through, but is there enough time? I don't think there should be enough time, but they're punching out one by one. 5 players on this A side. Vera sees the fault line and he just lines them up, position towards Ram. They have called them back, but as they have done,
You can't do much. Oh my goodness.
this time around, holds on the other side. What a flick coming in. Vera destroys Frey. Finds a second onto his counterpart. Kenji, nothing to say. Vera's on a heater, on a blinder. What are these shots coming in from Vera? They have nothing to answer for. Prowler spots him out. On for the A's as well. Goes around the corner, and yes, it is. Vera, contact play up. Oh, the only one here though. This is
Oh, the
Derek.
shorty
What a
play! He doesn't
prediction!
punish Kenji for that aggression. They spot one out, two at Archers as well. It's gonna be tough. DZ played his Cardinals very well.
Styron with 2 kills right there. The
That
smoke
was
just to
messy.
disengage. Wait,
Or,
Divine stop.
exactly. They're both stuck. Goes on.
Oh my God!
What is that? Our new champions of Split 1. Challengers of Malaysia, Singapore.